どうもファブゲーミングのジャックです。
어그로 핑퐁이 정말 기가 막힌 선수예요. 야, 이건 반대.
아니 그렇지만 승당이
まずこのデッキ変更した点についてはこの2枚なんですけど、大砲と違ってこちらの方がエリクスアドバンテージは取りにくいんですけど、防衛の面でとても強力なカードなのでこちらを採用したのと、さらにこのインフェルノタワーというカードを延命するのが非常に便利なこの雪玉というカード。このデッキの強みとしてはまず防衛が硬いというところなので、まず防衛をメインでやっていき、ここら辺の先ほど言ったインフェルノタワーというカードを使って防衛をしていき、そこで余ったエリクサーでこのホグライダーというカードを飛ばすのが一番いいと思います。今まではこのカードが3コストの大砲っていうカードだったんですけど、そこが2コスト重くなったことによって、昔はホグライダーをまず攻めに使って後から防衛することができたんですけど、このデッキでは後から防衛する際に5エリクサーを余らせることが難しいので、
これからプレイしますんで、
ちょっと時間もらっていいですか。切りやすいカード1コストだったり2コストだったり、最悪ホグライダーも切って大丈夫です。まず適当に切っていきます。でスケルトンも切っていきます。でこれ4コストカードサイド、やべずれた。4コストカード切ったのでここはホグライダーで大丈夫です。でここでベビードラゴンがこちら側の陣地に入ってきていなくて、アイスゴーレムを無料で溶かすのはもったいないので、ここではマスケットを高めに出して相手のベビードラゴンに仕事をさせる前にマスケットで倒したという感じです。でここで結構大事なのが、これマスケット2里残りだったら打たなくていい出さなくていいんですけど、こんな感じで意外と残ってる時にはこのマスケットにアイゴレをつけるだけで、今みたいに今だったら6コスト割いたんですよ相手が。エリクスアドバンテージがマスケットを出している状態では取られていたはずなんですけど、それにアイゴレをつけると、アイゴレのおかげで4ワードを取ったという感じで一気にエリクスアドバンテージを返すことができるので、とりあえずつけておくのもいいと思います。スパーキー、これは一発入るんで美味しいですね。こちらはスパーキーに対してザップだったりとかそういうのがないので、防衛としては相手のスパーキーかなり優秀なんですが、こちらもスパーキーの防衛に強いスケルトンだったり、出ちゃったスケルトンだったりアイスピだったりがいるので、落ち着いて防衛していくのがいいと思います。でここで丁寧に落とされなければいいんで、うまいけどここはゆったりと、こっちがミスっても全然防衛をもう一度できるというのは高回転の強みでもあるので、そういうところはどんどん使っていくといいと思います。でここでさっき切ってるんで、もうトルネードでここでホグライダーと、その相性のいいこの雪玉というカードがスノー効果、相手の防衛としても優秀なんですけど、これを出すことによって基本結構入れることができるので、ホグライダーの攻撃をバカスカ打っていっていいと思います。ここ落ち着いてインフェルノタワーが強いので余裕ができたらホグライダーです。今は防衛の形ができているのでホグライダーを出したという感じです。でこれ一発で勝利です。序盤中盤終盤全部変わらず、この3枚が特に大事なカードとなってきていて、2倍入る前の序盤中盤の時には、あまりこのカードを何度も出すことができないので、このカードの出しどころにはまずは気をつけて、攻めに扱うというより防衛重視でこのカードを出して、もし防衛した際にこのカードが残ったらこちらの2枚で攻めに行くのが一番いいと思います。で2倍タイム入ったらマスケット1枚目を攻撃のマスケットとして後ろから出したりしても、2周目を簡単にここの1コストの2枚たちですね、ここら辺で2枚一気に回すことができて、すぐにもう一度マスケットを出すことができるので、2倍入ってからはどんどん自分からマスケを出していってもいいと思います。難しいんですけど、まずはミスを恐れずにどんどん小技だったり、 YouTube とかに多分結構小技とかあるんで、この1コス2枚のカードたちの小技とかアイスゴーレムの小技だったりとかいろいろあると思うので、まずそれを見て 真似してみるのと、それをすることによってエリクスアドバンテージの取り方が全然違うんで、この同じデッキでもまずそこの細かいところを見て学ぶのがいいと思います。
안녕하세요. OP.GG 스포츠의 훈이입니다.
항상 저희는 지고 나서 깨닫는 게 더 많다고 생각을 해서 왜 졌을까? 우리가 문제점이 뭘까를 더 많이 생각할 수 있는 기회였고 그로 인해서 더 강해졌지 않나 싶습니다.
부담감 없다고 하면 이제 거짓말이겠죠. 그래도 제가 이겨야지 이제 연패도 끊고 다시 팀 분위기를 좀 체인지할 수 있으니까 어떻게든 이겨보려고 했습니다. 아이 왜 그렇게 된 거예요?
또 용광로가 살았어요.
그러게요.
불꽃 남자 훈이가 이번 경기 용광로를 경기 거의 잡아내는 느낌의 이 정도면
용광로.
용광로 때문에 너무 당황스러웠는데 갑자기 그런 게 돼가지고 자이는 맨날 3패를 먼저 푸는 것 같아요.
그러니까 자이 같은 경우에 조금 공격적인 성향인 것 같아요. 그게 자이뿐만 아니라 브랜 선수들이 다 공격적으로 운영하는 것 같고 여기서 근데 조금 아쉬운 부분이 나온 것 같은데 여기서 매미가 조금 너무 앞에 낸 것 같아요.
이게 너무 아팠어요.
이때 상대방이 무슨 덱인지 예측했어요?
네, 당연히 이건 무덤일 것 같다 생각했어요. 이때 좀 위험하긴 했는데
이때 바바리안 침착하게 잘 감싼 것 같아요. 근데 상대방도 눈덩이 센스가 좋았고
맞아, 눈덩이가 좋았어요. 이건 들어오겠다 싶어서 미리 쏘놓고
여기서 조금 얼굴
여기
좀
좀
실수한 게 조금 위험했어요. 근데 상대방이 여기 공격적으로 독을 쏘줘서 후방에 용광로 지은 거는 좋은 것 같아요. 우리가 연습했던 것처럼 독을 빠지면 반대편에 용광로 보면 이런 플레이 또 상대방이 신경을 계속 건드리는 거죠. 여기서도 차라리 반대로 못 끄면 앞에 세우는 게 더 나은 것 같아요. 상대방이 근데 또 바바리안을 보고 있었어요. 상당히 공격적으로. 여기서는 이쪽에 무덤 들어간 거 조금 안 좋았다.
체력이 너무 없어가지고 유닛.
여기서도 침착하게 또 수비하고 무덤 들어가고. 여기가 매미가 다행히 머스키까지 잡아주고 타워까지 쳐줘가지고
의미가 다른데 눈덩이까지 실수했나 보다.
웅덩이 실수도 너무 컸어 상대방. 여기도 얼굴 실수도 하고.
상대 당황했나 보네.
여기서도 시간 안 주고 들어갔던 거 잘한 것 같아요.
반대쪽도 이제 좀 신경 쓰도록 바통 굴려놓고
여기서 맞으면서
몇 대만 긁어주면
여기서 침착하게 1번 낸 게 잘한 것 같아요. 거기다가 무리해서 독 바로 깔지 않고
얼굴이 눈덩이 때문에 딜이 너무 들어가버려.
여기서 독으로 마무리하고 초반에 얼굴 실수한 거 빼고는 정말 침착하게 잘 이끌어 나간 것 같아요. 저는 9점이라고 생각합니다. 그 이유는 뭐냐면 처음에 다프가 돌진했을 때 얼굴 어그로 실수가 있었는데 그 실수 외에는 침착하게 천천히 경기 운영을 잘 해나갔다고 생각합니다.
8점이라 생각해요. 첫 경기에 약간의 미스가 있어서 최적의 점수는 아닌 것 같아요. 사람은 이제 좀 맞아야 좀 잘한다는 그런 인식이 있잖아요. 그걸 좀 뭐라 해야 되지 이거? 그냥 말 비유. 그러니까 좀 잘해보겠습니다. 연승 이어가겠습니다.
일단 이겨서 기분 좋고 앞으로도 많은 경기 남아있으니까 더 열심히 하고 싶습니다. 다른 프로게이머들은 잘 모르겠는데 저는 되게 멘탈이 좋은 편이라 가지고 그래서 앞으로 더 잘하자는 마음으로 계속했고 그게 잘 먹혀가지고 지금 잘할 수 있는 것 같아요.
우리가 덱을 준비하는 과정에서 계속 상성에 먹히고 가는 그런 것 때문에 진 거라고 생각을 했고 그런 것들만 조금 보완을 한다면 우리가 이길 수 있다고 생각했습니다.
제 자작덱입니다. 덱 선수를 상대할 때 가장 경계했던 게 벌룬 덱, 그리고 페카 덱, 호그, 석궁 이런 게 있는데 그 덱들을 전부 다 카운터 치기에 좋은 카드가 일렉트로 드래곤이기 때문에 그 카드를 넣어서 같이 쓰면은 제가 거의 질 일이 없다 생각해가지고 그런 덱 구성을 했어요. 근데 오히려 고마웠어요. 전 상대방 덱을 다 알고 있으니까 상대방의 약점을 빠르게 파악하고 그렇게 시행했던 게 되게 잘못했던 것 같아요. 딱 여기서 홈패가 저는 꽤 괜찮다 생각하거든요. 이게 얼버과 토네이도도 있고 공격 카드도 있기 때문에. 근데 갑자기 여기서 갑자기 고우리가 뭐지? 그래서 다프 그 무덤 있잖아요. 그건가? 하고 지금 살짝 고민하고 여기서 토네이도 쓰는데 쓰자마자 바로 로자 나오고
이때 로자 들어오는 거 보고 어땠어?
이때 아 이거 되게 칼 타이밍이다 생각했어요.
너 덱인지는 알고 있었어?
여기까지는 잘 몰랐어요. 근데 광부가 들어오고 나서 그때부터 알았어요.
와 여기서 너무 많이 맞았어 로자한테.
아 맞아, 여기서 1드 나올 때 여기 1대 나올 때 이때 알았다. 이때
아 여기서 첫 광부인데 솔직히 광독덱에서 첫 광부에서 킹타 열리면 거의 게임이 불리하잖아. 이때,
그렇죠.
이때 느낌이 어땠어?
네, 이거 홈 버튼 누를까? 그 정도? 여기서 타워피가 엄청나게 차이 나가지고
그러니까 거의 2배 가까이 차이 나네.
그래서 열심히 해야 돼요.
근데 상대방도 맞아주는 플레이를 해.
네, 계속 맞아주더라고요. 여지를 주는 플레이를 계속 하더라고요.
근데 상대방이 다른 덱은 다 보여줬는데 스펠 하나를 안 보여줬잖아. 난 이때 사실 반전하면서 아 번개이면 이거 진짜 큰일 났다 생각했는데 너는 어땠어?
저도 번개이면 진짜 큰일 났고 지마에게 그냥 불려야죠. 그래서 더 맞으면 안 되니까 통나무도 써주고.
상대방도 어쨌든 로자는 토네이도까지 있으면 수비가 어느 정도 가능하기 때문에 광부대만 안 들어오면 이길 수 있다고 생각했고 여기서 상대방 바통 굴리면 하는데
그래서 여지를 주고
맞아주고 아 여기서도 근데 월법이
이걸 못 이김.
그러니까 여기서 여기 살짝 위험한데 그리고 광부까지 같이 들어올 거 아니야.
그래서 살짝 큰일 났다 생각했어요.
나도.
토네이도를 공격적으로 쓸 줄은 몰랐어요.
다행히 여기서 월법 살아가지고
네. 근데 이 정도 하면 아직도 할만함. 네.
여기서 광부 여기서 광부 예측이 안 됐다면 정말 힘들었을 것 같은데
네.
다행히.
근데 덱이 좀 뻔하게 들어왔어요. 계속 광부를. 그래서 저 위치에 들었던 걸 같은데 지금.
여기서
근데 제가 어느샌가 또 많이 때려놨어요. 지금 보면 또
맞아 어느 따라가고 여기 광부 여기서 일드가
일드 스플래시.
난 일드가 때릴지는 생각도 못했어.
저는 살짝 때리는 것 같았어요. 느낌이.
여기서 일드가 때리면서 마무리했지.
아.
너가 근데 만든 덱이니까 어때?
근데 이런 건 처음이라 가지고 갑자기 제가 만든 덱을 갑자기 복제할 수 있는 스포에도 없었는데 진짜.
그래 오늘 잘했던 것 같아.
알아요.
월드 파이널
가자.
Let's go. Welcome everyone to Clash Royale League Asia 2019 season number 2, the very last day of the regular season. This is what it all comes down to. Every team here today still in it, still mathematically in it. Anything can happen. I'm Paper Thin. With me is Ending Life, and we have a very exciting day here today. Some really big matchups coming up, and a lot is going to be determined by our very first match, actually.
Yeah, but like he says a lot, and it's exciting because not only are we gonna, are we gonna decide the top 4 teams, but you know, within the teams that have already made it into the playoffs, they still have the placement decided because now we know which teams are what place in Group A. So now the teams in Group B, in their heads, if we get first place, if we get second place, or third or fourth, we're going to be going up against what certain teams. So that also matters for the teams that have already made it, also mattering for the teams that have to still make it.
Correct. First and second place are already locked in. That will be whoever wins that match. That's going to be the second match of the day, OG and Entis versus Fav Gaming. Whoever wins that will be your number 1 team out of Group B. We know that for sure. So one way or another, that's how that's going to shake out. Either Korea, Japan's going to be number 1 on the top there. After that, things get a little nutty because there's a lot of teams very close to each other in terms of not just wins and losses, but also in terms of set differential. And we have the very likely possibility that this could come down to game or crown differential if things get really wild. So it's going to be really fascinating. You guys got to stay with this. Of course, from Group A, Kicks won. They came out number 1 yesterday with Dragon X faltering, and then Ponos, and then of course that Chaos Theory game, which is the best game in Clash Royale League Asia history. Go watch that right now. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. Go back, watch that series because it is unreal. Yeah, it is so good.
I went home and I watched it, and I wasn't even casting, I was screaming. That's what happened yesterday when I went home and watched it again. Like, I'm listening to me screaming in the headsets, but I was screaming with my casting voice. I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, this is today's matchup. OPGG versus GameWith, very important. Fav Gaming versus OG and Entis, also very important. Brent Esports and Sandbox Gaming, also important.
What's super fascinating is GameWith has to win. And the more GameWith can win this, the better it is for them. Yeah, that really puts them in a much. If they just 2-0 OPGG here, it puts them in a decent spot to get themselves into the playoffs, depending on what happens. But I can tell you what, OPGG not going to let that happen easily. Oh, come on, everybody's doing the exact same thing. Boo! Okay, GameWith was a little better. D+, OPGG, D.
Oh my goodness.
So let's break this down, Ending, because this is pretty nutty.
Yeah, there's so many things to talk about, but for me personally, I want to go in step. So anything, you know, according or regarding OPGG Sports versus GameWith, right? Only focusing on these 2 teams. First of all, GameWith just has to win, right? That's the first condition. The second condition that follows with that, they have to win 2-0, right?
They don't have to, but it really helps.
Well, yeah, but
it really helps.
There's literally very 1% chance that they can make it up in top 4 if they win 2-1, because they also have to win 2-0 or win with a +3 game differential. So in order to do that, 2-0ing, I think in a way is the easiest and the best way to do that.
Of course.
So that's why I'm saying 2-0. But either way, GameWith, they have to win. As long as they dominate, they're in the safe zone.
Yeah, it puts them in a decent spot. Now, even if they 2-0, it's not guaranteed.
Nope.
Because Sandbox, some weird things can happen, how this all shakes out with the games and the sets. And I think we'll probably just deal with that if we get to it, because the simple answer is OPGG wins, they're in.
Oh, yeah. And GameWith is out.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah, GameWith is just out. And then the winner of Brent Esports, Sandbox, will just be the ones that go on. That would be the simplest scenario. However, if GameWith wins this, then a whole world of possibilities open up. We're gonna be Aladdin on a carpet, man, because there's gonna be a whole new world for us when that happens.
Oh my goodness!
All right.
Are you Aladdin or am I Aladdin?
Let's not get into that. All right, so it's gonna be the 2v2, and this is huge. Every game is so important for GameWith right now. That's what's wild. They have to win everything possible. Any losses and it hurts. And look at this, they're putting KK into the 2v2s. You do not see that very often.
Okay, so I'm actually just, looking through the things that we calculated, like roughly, what has to happen, depending on what, situations. But I'm looking through right now, and you know how I said they have to win. Even if they do win, they have to get a +3 game differential. So even if they 2-0 OPGG somehow, they can't, regarding games, they can't go 2-1, 2-1. Because that's only a 2-game differential.
Well, that's under the assumption that Brent wins. If Sandbox
Oh,
wins,
yes.
then it's a whole nother ball game. Then it gets really wild.
Yeah.
All right.
If Game With wins, we'll let you guys know all the crazy details
Yes.
that we have in front of us. But until then, let's focus on this game. We have the double tornado ban. Thankfully, nothing unusual.
All right, so let's see. The recruits coming out, those have been pretty popular in the West, so we're starting to see those pick up across the region. Of course, Clash Royale League Asia was one of the very first to use the recruits with Dandelion. He was the one who kind of showed us their power. The Witch is starting to make her way into the 2v2 now, as well as occasionally Wallbreaker. Saw a couple mortars in West on the 2v2 as well, so some interesting stuff coming out there, but right now a lot of Witch. Lightning would be super valuable.
Wouldn't be surprised if they did carry a Lightning, just wanted to save it just for 2-unit hits instead of just the 1 Witch. So they're going to start building up spell damage count as well. The log obviously very cheap, so that'll be good.
The Dark Goblin makes you think that Game With suspects there could be a graveyard coming. All right, there comes the balloon. The Inferno Tower is there. I haven't seen anything like that quite yet. No Zap or Lightning being used here. They're just going to let that one indeed go through. There is indeed the graveyard, but now that Dark Goblin has already been cycled, but you have the Lumberjack and some bats, and that's pretty effective at cleaning up that graveyard, really minimizing the damage there. Just a couple swings.
All right, and now another counter push with the balloon. This is going to be big. So as long as Game With is able to land even the death damage onto the towers and over, nice freeze coming through. And this isn't going to be just the death damage. That's going to be a drop plus the death damage. And as I was saying, death damage adding up, I think Game With will have the advantage because, yeah, the Royal Recruits, they have double, but it's easier to defend for Game With right now with the deck that they have.
Well, it's good that they have a Mega Knight that's pretty effective against the recruits. It's going to get a little nutty when we get into Double Elixir with all of these recruits available. I think you might see the shift start to change towards OPGG as time goes on here, but Game With already did a sizable amount of damage. They struck early, and I think that was really important for them here. That might be the edge they need to take this one.
Correct, as long as they defend it in a way, in a sense that, they're in the safe. Game With, I think, obviously has the advantage with the Princess Tower damage, but having the Mega Knight, the Executioner, and even the Valkyrie for these recruits, it just allows Game With to use the least amount of resources to defend against such an expensive unit.
Yeah, that Valkyrie really nicely placed and bought a lot of time. It's going to prevent much damage coming in here on the bottom right. That Archer is just short.
Yeah.
Just short. Didn't get the shots in that Magic Archer wanted to do it. We saw him be the hero yesterday, but today he hasn't got it going yet. And this Executioner as well. Really good defense available for Game With against these Royal Recruits.
Yeah, and I'm looking through Game With deck right now, comparing it to OPGG. The spell damage on both sides, it's not as much because OP only has a snowball and a giant snowball for actual initial damage. Game With also only has Fireball and a Zap, so they both still need to do some damage to that Princess Tower.
Yeah, not many spells compared to what, like heavy damage spells, compared to what we're used to seeing in 2v2. So the meta may be shifting a little bit. We'll see. Archers could be kind of choice options. Now these graveyards gotta work. And that Dark Goblin is well outside of freeze range, so forget it. That is you get a couple hits in from that graveyard, but nothing substantial. But immediately the counter push coming with these recruits. Honestly, Game With just needs to play good defense here, and they should be able to just outdo this. They're already a little bit ahead. Ooh, those are some lucky spawns, and now the Magic Archer is on there as well. Can't have that happen. This is bad. Good fireball, but now it is OPGG who has taken advantage of this.
Oh, the Mega Knight!
The difficulty in two.
Oh, the
Elixir
splash!
time. Oh, it got the splash.
See, the thing is, before Double Elixir, right, the recruit, OPGG, they were a little bit on the backside. They're slow. But now it's Double Elixir. They have the resources to constantly use the recruits and pressure. Finally we see the balloon. I was going to say, we haven't seen the balloon come out from GameWith because they were so busy defending.
GameWith was waiting for the recruits to come down. Double freezes are going to slow up everything. The Dark Goblin's going to come in, try to help out, and down goes the tower. GameWith takes a very important first game in this 2v2 set. Huge,
very important.
Huge win.
Very important. Every single win, like we said, is going to be very important for GameWith.
Yep, it's literally every game counts for them, and OPGG kind of as well needs to start turning it around. I mean, like we said, all they need to do is win this match and they're in.
Yeah.
But if they lose, then it kind of gets put in the hands of a bunch of other teams and a bunch of other weird possible scenarios.
Yes.
And you as well need to be, we've been talking about how important it is for GameWith. It's very, very important for OPGG as well.
It's kind of funny because in Group A, right, we saw Chaos Theory. Like, they had nothing they could do. They had to wait to see if that, like, how Dead Nations would do, if they'll win, if they'll lose, and then they had a chance. But this time, for GameWith, it's kind of like Chaos Theory playing their first game. Like, they have to win, but they are still not in, and they have to wait after they kind of, in a way, not secure, but like put themselves, up there with everybody else, and then see for all the other teams how they do, right? So they have, I think this GameWith team has like the hardest homework. They have to first win, right? Like, they can't wait until to see if Sandbox will lose or win, and then, they'll try their best or whatever, right?
Right. No, exactly. Well, good start for GameWith. An immediate timeout from OPGG, knowing how important this 2v2 set is. They want to take at least a game for sure. That would be really, really nice for them. And give them, and make it harder for GameWith. The harder you can make it for GameWith, even if GameWith does end up winning, if you can make it go to the King of the Hill, then you're making it much more challenging for GameWith to get into the playoffs.
All right. Well, either way, GameWith and OPGG, they're both in need of wins because they have to make it. All these, both of these teams, they're not secured. They're not in the playoffs yet, even though, regarding the standing, OPGG is currently at 3rd, GameWith is currently at 5th, but that does not matter today. Basically, all the bottom 4 teams, other than OG Nantes and Valve Gaming, they just have to work their butts off.
Yep. It's literally anything can happen. Yeah. And that is exactly why the timeout is being taken so early in the 2v2 set here. This is a much more important set. I think you can rely on Expo Masters' veteran, experience to not, feel like you need to use a timeout in that situation when we get to that 1v1 set against Royale. So this is going to be really interesting here for GameWith. Can they do this again? Game 2 of this desperate situation begins right now. The last 2v2 potential game for these two teams in the regular season. We'll see if GameWith can close this out, or if the timeout that OPGG took is going to get them, get Huni and Asher a little more on the same page.
All right.
Ah, yes, there's the new emote that you can get if you purchase the Flash Royale Pass.
Oh, yeah.
So once you get to...
I still like the chicken better.
The chicken is the best.
Yeah, I still like the chicken better.
Chicken is, right now, one of my all-time favorites. This one's good.
Yeah, this one's
the
good.
Mariachi skeleton is good. I like it. I will use it.
I will spam it.
But the chicken I spam. The chicken I'm always spamming when my clanmates are playing their war days.
And then you and I both joined one game and we just both start spamming.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we got another Magic Archer and some Witches. We haven't really seen a win condition card from either team just yet. Still sticking with that Executioner. The Executioner very good in 2v2 against a lot of various different archetypes, especially Lava. And if somebody tries Golem, it's good against that too. This time it's going to be the Giant Skeleton here for OPGG.
Yeah.
So.
And OPGG, they had to use the defensive poison because the Princess Tower locked onto the Mega Knight. So only the baby dragon was, getting the skeletons coming out of the graveyard. If they hadn't used that poison, I think more damage would have been done to that bottom right tower.
We still haven't seen enough of what OPGG's win condition is yet to really kind of get an idea of what they're... Okay, they're going for... It's just Graveyard again here. Okay, this time we get the Magic Archer way in the back to help out with that Dark Prince and the Baby Dragon. Looks like one hit.
Yeah.
That very last skeleton popped up on the corner. and was able to get a hit in. But that's it that time from that graveyard. Now the push coming across, and we're going to get that Magic Archer doing his Magic Archer thing. Just piercing shots. Ooh, one swing, but that Magic Archer not close enough to that Musketeer to get the beam to connect.
All right, well, so far the Graveyard cycle from Game With is actually taking the lead here. And it all changes when it gets to double elixir time, of course, because now we get to actually see what OPGG has brought for us to actually try to get this win, because this win condition is very important and how you counter push.
Yeah, what is it going to be? That's the real question. Is it something super heavy? We don't know. We haven't seen it. It's going to be a graveyard of their own. Okay, then they were just opting to play defense to begin with, try to set up for a big push, but that Mega Knight jumps on. He is so healthy. That in the bottom left is crazy healthy. This is looking really bad
it's
here.
Grim.
For
15
OPGG.
seconds.
Yep, this is, I mean, you might get this bottom right. If you can get something else going, I don't think they have the speed to do it. Another graveyard won't pop enough skeletons up in time. And my, Game With takes the set and 2-0s it. That is the start they needed.
Definitely, and you know how they didn't want a 2-1 game win, or a set win rather. They got a 2-0 set win, and this is the best start they can ask for. Now it all depends on how Rollaporon does against Expo Master, because every single game matters. Not only the sets, every single game. If you lose, that matters. How many you lose, that also matters. So, oh my goodness. The best start for Game With. OPGG still in the game. We'll see how they come back in the 1v1s.
This is huge. I mean, just to start off with a bang like this for Game With is going to give them a ton of momentum. Can Rollaporon carry it on? But Expo Master, the wily veteran, can he find a way to dash the hopes and send it to the King of the Hill? It's going to be, it's going to be really interesting, because Expo Master, you know, it's a new meta, so he's, you know, he tends to bring out kind of unique and interesting decks. You know, he brings out like the RG with the E-Dragon and that kind of stuff. That's kind of like one of his signature decks now. But the meta is way different, and at least here in Clash Royale League Asia, we saw a ton of wall breakers. We're seeing some Witch, of course, as well. But what are they going to bring in here? You're not seeing as much of the wall breakers in the West. You're seeing a lot of Giant Witch Graveyard, and still a lot of Royal Giant. Still a ton of Royal Giant.
Yeah.
But here in West, they've definitely kind of embraced this new patch, at least so far.
You mean Asia?
Asia, sorry. Yeah, we are in Asia. I'm sorry, we're not in West. My bad. Just because I'm from America.
I look Korean, but I am from America as well. So. But anyways, yeah, Expo Master, I'm curious if he is ready to adapt, because he has adapted in the past. He has tried different decks according to who he's going up against. Rollaporon, one of the stronger opponents that he will be facing, other than, you know, Benzer or maybe even KK or the new Pedro and Isla. But Rollaporon, definitely, if you guys remember how well he played last season, he's not going to be an easy opponent. Both of these players, I hope that they, you know, have adapted to this wallbreaker craziness, chaotic wallbreaker builds that we have been seeing for the past couple days.
We'll see. I don't know. I expect something a little off-key from Expo Master. He doesn't like to play standard decks for the most part.
Correct.
Or maybe he'll just shock us and go right back to meta stuff. I don't know. Expo Tesla's still very popular, still very powerful. We've seen that pop up all over the place. There's no reason you can't go for that. Rollaporon as well. Curious to see what he wants to work in here. Like you said, he last season, you know, came out with a bang. Won like a bunch of games in a row. And then he faltered a little bit as time went on, though, towards the end of the season. And this season, it's been not great for Game With in general.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to see any positive records on any of the players. But what I noticed is Rollaporon, he did his hair today.
Yeah, it's a little different today.
Yeah, it is. He like brought it up, he gelled it or sprayed it or whatever. Like usually, like it's just all down and covering his forehead.
Maybe one of our wonderful makeup ladies here at OGN convinced him. She's like, I think it looked good like this.
Possibly.
That's what I hope. Ooh,
Yeah.
Got the little Franken goblin. Yeah. All right, let I'm really excited for this because I want to know what Expo Master is thinking here. Like, what is he bringing? It is going to be a princess to start.
Whenever
Now-
I see a princess, I just want to call out baby.
It isn't always anymore. Now, now it is.
Okay.
Now with wall breakers,
Yeah.
1,000,000%. And of course, Dark Prince, if you put him in the right spot in front of the breakers, he will take them out with that splash damage. It's going to be the Gob Cage here from Expo Master. So definitely smelling like some kind of bait deck from Expo Master, but you can kind of mix it up with some other things, throw in maybe a Mega Knight in there from time to time, but it is indeed, great placement with that. Great placement. There's
The
that-
God Barrel, ever since that small nerf on the Giant Snowball, it's just so viable. Like, it's just the fact that everybody's still sticking with the wall breakers in Asia, like for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, I would have thought in my head, like, they would go back and forth with the God Barrel or the wall breakers, but now Expo, he's using that Goblin Barrel, and I love seeing it.
Great princess placement and timing. Gets everything inside of that. Only takes one zap from that E-Wiz. Now we're at the baby dragon encroaching up onto her. So yeah, it is heavy spell bait here from Expo Master. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Meanwhile, Furnace and other things roll on makes you feel like he's definitely just in the old school RG deck. Still quite popular. But I can say from personal experience playing Royal Giant that I struggle against the spell baits with the Royal Giant because of how fast you can get units in front of that Giant to do damage to it. So we'll see.
Exactly, and also you have to keep in mind that spell bait, like,
And there's a
bait-
Gob Cage.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, Gob Cage there as well. But the bait decks, like we see, Expo has already done you know enough damage to bait, but look at how much Roll of Poron did as well. He actually did a little bit more. Now that the goblins get their stabs, it's going to actually speed things up because it is double elixir time.
Yep, and Rolliporon wisely going to try to build up a big push with this Royal Giant. I like the idea here. Try to get a lot of units behind this so you can deal with them. There is that Mega Knight at the end of this. So you can deal with those smaller units that can really DPS onto the Royal Giant. That Furnace is going to take out that Princess immediately. Another one is dropping. You got a lot of damage with that Dark Goblin and the Brawler. One shot is all you're going to get out of that RG. So that was maybe not the push that Rolliporon had in mind. He has to use the log on the Gob Barrel there, and that's going to miss the Dark Goblin.
All right, well, they've been just going back and forth, and look at how much Expo Master has taken. Even though he has been throwing his God Barrels, he's just been on the attacks all day, and he still has taken a lot more damage compared to Rolliporon.
Yeah, Rolliporon's really playing this very, very well. Good fireball there. Gonna take out the Dark Goblin. The log used once again. So we're gonna cycle. Ooh, that Brawler gets a punch in. So that's a bit more damage. And now, you know, the tricky thing with the deck, like what Expo Master is doing, is he wants to be able to shift from side to side. And having that damage be pretty equal on both sides makes it easier for him to do that.
Yeah, he has to do both, like go back and forth, kind of keep the pressure up. But I want to say that the Royal Giant on the bridge later on, if Rolliporon needs it to be there, I think that's going to be very strong because he could keep that log for the God Barrel always and just put that, you know, Royal Giant in on the bridge if he needs it.
He doesn't even need the Royal Giant.
Yeah.
He's doing it well enough with his own cycle. He is getting enough value out of the E-Wiz, out of the Baby Dragon, out of the Furnace, out of the Dark Prince. He has a lot of AoE damage to deal with these swarms of units that are coming from Expo Master.
And you can't forget about the Fireball build-up damage on the bottom right because that is at, oh my god, even that Fire Spirit is landing here. Look at this. Rolliporon, like Expo Master, he has to make something connect, but Rolliporon isn't giving him the chance because, like you said, he's not using the Royal Giant. He's just cycling with his everything else but the Royal Giant, and it's still working. Why use the Royal Giant?
Having the Dark Prince in here is so useful.
Yeah.
That makes it so easy for Rolliporon to defend a lot of this. And you see Expo Master trying to get the Mega Knight in there, but again, with all of these units, it's just, you know, not enough. And that Dark Prince, man, he soaks up so much damage.
Oh my goodness, look at all the damage that has been done. It's like, you see the Royal Giant on Rolliporon's deck, but it wasn't even the Royal Giant that did the damage. It's all the other units that has been, you know, just coming forward after defending, and even that Baby Dragon shot lands. And this Fireball is going to just keep adding up.
Yeah, the E-Wiz right on top. He's going to try to get a Mega Knight push going. Maybe you can throw some wall breakers behind this. After you get that Furnace down, there comes some bats as well. Nope, there's going to be a Dark Prince here. We're going to try the wall breakers on the left side with that Furnace available. Ooh, are we going to get the jump damage though with a lot of bats?
No jump damage. No jump damage. Oh, that was close.
Wow.
That was so close because we had so many bats, but the Princess Tower was locked onto the Mega Knight, so it actually killed him while in air.
Expo's found a new cycle. He's found something he can do. This is forcing the defensive Royal Giant here.
Oh,
from
the log.
Yep,
That log
is out.
is huge.
Fireball. He might have to fireball. He does. But is this going to be enough in time? 20 seconds left here for Expo Master. Double Dark Goblins start wailing away.
Oh my goodness.
That is going to be it. What?
Oh my God.
What a change up from Expo Master. Getting that Mega Knight down at the front and then building up right away behind it, not letting that Furnace get a lot of value. Yes, you can distract the wall breakers with it, but then when the Furnace isn't there because you've got things on the right-hand side of the bridge, you've got no way to put it down. Then you can throw the wall breakers, bait the log out, you throw the Goblin Barrel, they have to use a fireball on it, and then you have no other answers. Your elixir's gone.
I love at the end how he baited what you just mentioned, the wall breaker bait with for the log, and then forcing Rollaporon to use the fireball. That elixir trade, especially in this end game where every single hit, every single HP is very important. That small elixir, trait is just going to give you that build up that you need, especially with the Mega Knight deck. And oh my gosh, this part right here.
Fireball.
Nice.
Well, this is like one of these funny situations. We talk about how if things aren't going well for you, if you have to use a defensive miner, sometimes if you have to use a defensive RG to soak up damage, things are really not going well. That's like when you have to do that as an RG player, you just know it's over. You're just trying anything at that point. You're like, I have no idea how I can defend this. I need something beefy that can soak up a little bit of damage. But that Mega Knight, the Princess Tower alone, isn't going to do much damage to him. It's just not enough.
Oh my goodness, it was so close. And at the end of the day, yeah, RG is great to just bridge. Like if you need be, bridge spam it and just let it attack the tower right away, like 1 or 2 shots when you need it.
Yeah.
But when you have something like a P.E.K.K.A. or a Mega Knight that's able to not only attack your Princess Tower, but also attack units plus has a splash damage, and then it stays alive to cause more problems afterwards, that's when you start having problems. Because like RG Giants or Golems who focus only on buildings, right? Yeah, they hurt, they lock on right away, they do some damage, but if you're able to defend it in a certain manner where you take the least damage and then the counter push happens, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And that's what we've seen here in this game.
What I said mid-game was that there were a lot of answers to the spell bait, but there wasn't a lot of answer for the Mega Knight.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of just single target DPS, like something, like a mini P.E.K.K.A. or a Lumberjack or something like that just absolutely wails down on a Mega Knight. And Expo Master realized that and just started getting that Mega Knight on the board as much as he could. And that is when things started to turn around. That is when Rollaporon found that he had no more answers available, but that was darn close. It looked like Expo Master might just, fail there, but he figured it out. And
it took him a while. It took him a while.
It took him a little while.
But he did figure it out. He got it done. And it's just wall breaker for log, God Barrel for fireball, and then there was nothing for the double Dark Goblins that he put in the back.
Right. So Poison here from Expo Master. Is it going to be some of that minor wall breaker kind of stuff we saw? Or is it going to be Graveyard? That's typically what you're going to see Poison with. There is an RG deck that has it, but the Hunter here. So this could be this fast cycle.
Wall breaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, wall breaker, minor poison. Possibly even a Valkyrie if he felt like it, but I'm looking at Rollaporon. He probably stuck with the same deck. That's why Expo Master's, sending out that question mark Hog Rider emote here. He's like, really, you're gonna play the same deck?
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting choice by Rollaporon. Seems like maybe not what Expo Master expected. Okay, so the Night Witch here.
You mean just the Witch?
Just the Witch, not the Night. There's no bats. That's just the Witch.
Okay, so it is a giant. Okay.
Yeah, so Graveyard almost certainly on the back of this.
Yeah, giant Witch Graveyard with poison also. We have seen a lot.
All right, so the Witch, very powerful now, but the Mega Minion has locked onto her. And he hits like a truck. 3 swings and away she goes. And the good news is she did put one shot into him, so he's not going to get a swing at Expo Master's Princess Tower on the bottom right. At least I assume this is Graveyard. I mean, it's got to be any poison.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep, exact same deck for Royal Pora.
Yep, so far so good. But this time around, if you notice, in game number 1, Rollaporan did a lot more damage early on, regardless of how Expo brought the bait deck.
Expo still gets 2 fish slaps there. That's actually a big deal. Rollaporan used a log as well. Is that really worth it there? That's a really important question. He's using the Fireball on the Witch. Rollaporan's got to know.
There we go.
There is the Graveyard. And he's got the Dark Prince available. He's got the Mega Minion. So a decent amount of defense available for him. Doesn't look like too many are going to get in there, but that is a very healthy giant.
And look at that lovely poison.
Oh,
this counter push is going to hurt, but I still think that Expo Master has enough great elixir traits that he's able to defend this. The Hunter placement, a little bit in the back. He wanted to keep it safe, but still.
Yeah, that Fisherman also grabbed the Dark Prince, which is not what Expo Master wanted there. So a nice counter punch from Rollaporan. Ooh, that's a stab from that Goblin. It's a big deal. All right, and this Witch, man, just look at how she tears through the Baby Dragon. That is brutality.
You don't usually see the Baby Dragon go down so fast by a Witch, but no, that was a patch before. Now the Witch is super strong. Here we go, Graveyard. Pressure coming through. The Giant is tanking.
There's no answer. Rollaporan just shook his head. He has nothing. That's going to be game here for Expo Master. Expo Master turns it around. A 2-0 victory for OPGG in the 1v1 set. Now things get weird for Game With.
All right, so I was looking through what possibilities that Game With has, and there's only one. They have to 3-0.
They have to 3-0
They have to
this?
3-0.
Are you sure?
Yeah. They have to 100% 3-0.
Because if they 2-1, but no, it depends on who wins Sandbox and Brett.
You think so?
Yeah, go look on the here.
I'm looking.
So there's still a possibility.
No, if they 2-1 and Sandbox wins 2-1,
right. Yeah.
then it's just OPGG
Oh, then
and
it's
Brett.
OPG and Brett that'll
Yeah,
go.
so Game With, they have to win with a +3 game differential. That's it.
Right. Yep, you're right. No, they.
Oh wait, are they done?
I think they might be.
Oh my goodness. I think they might.
Doing the math right now, I don't even want it. Let's just worry about it because this is still important for OPGG
Yeah,
here.
it definitely is. But either way, oh goodness, Expo Master is showing us. Like I think he's just playing around with this. Like he's making the game so close.
Well,
Like he's trying his best, I know, but
again, you know, Rollaporan, he's a very, very strong player, and both games were very, very close. But you're bringing the same deck 2 times in a row, and you lose both times. You know, it's gotta maybe mix it up just a wee bit here. I mean, the Royal Giant's still very powerful, still very viable. You almost got it done here. You forced out quite a bit of defensive elixir from Expo Master and that Hunter, but. Yeah, so basically at this point, if Game With 1 wins by 2-1, and then it all depends on what happens afterwards for all the results.
Yep. So we'll like this King of the Hill once again is very important. Yeah, I was looking through Game With.
It's more for OPGG at this point than it is for Correct. It's because OPGG just wants to win this. They just want to take this and then, you know, really take the heat off of them in any. I think in any situation now though. I think they're okay.
Who, OP?
Yeah.
Yeah, OP, they are more than okay.
I think they're okay. I think they're pretty much in at this point.
OP,
based on what I'm seeing.
Yeah, so OP is basically pretty much safe. Game With, not so much. But we will see what happens in this King of the Hill. See, like this roster, just with KK and Rollaporan in this King of the Hill for Game With, I think they should have done this more often throughout the regular season. Because we haven't, like, you know, we always talk about it, you and I, and even G-Clef and I, when we cast together. KK and Rollaporan are the 2 strongest 1v1 players on this team. And
yes.
Putting both of them in the King of the Hill, it makes sense.
It should basically be happening almost every time. It really, really should. You got to rely on your big name players to come up on the big stages, and that's the King of the Hill is the most pressure-filled situation we have. Not only because you only have 1 game you know, to prove your stuff against an opponent, but also because it's the tiebreaker match or set, excuse me, the tiebreaker set. So you gotta show your stars in these situations, and that's why we saw, you know, that's what we saw with Benzer yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So go back and oh my god, still I'll never get over that for the rest of my life. I'll never forget that. Well, it's gonna be Dabong to start out here for OPGG.
He's happy.
He's
Do you know why? Because they've only gone to 2 King of the Hills, and he hasn't actually been playing a lot of games until he paired up with Expo for the 2v2.
Right.
But until that was like at like the second half of the season. Until then, he literally had like 1 game.
Right.
And then like now, finally they're at King of the Hill. He's first up in line. He gets to play.
He's kind of, you know, he's like he's kind of the older brother as we talk about for OPGG. So let's see what he's got against KK. KK has been struggling this season in his 1v1s.
Yeah.
So we're looking to see if he can finally kind of turn it around here. There's a new meta. Maybe he can find some decks that he's practiced really well. We've seen that already this season. That Mega Knight wall breaker stuff is nutty good. I think it's almost undefeated now.
Yeah, so far from what we've been seeing from these two teams, OPGG, they are kind of shifting towards the meta. Like, you know, they're using the wall breakers, they're using the spell bait with no spells that Expo brought with the Goblin Barrel. Game With, on the other hand, they're staying kind of with the old school meta. We'll see if KK will do that here in King of the Hills.
All right, so the new Witch actually is kind of interesting. Once the Witch crosses the bridge, the Valkyrie's pretty good against her, but with the way that the skeletons kind of spread out now, you actually buy a little bit more time.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. Valkyrie's great, like, once the Witch is where she is now, and you drop the Valkyrie on top of her, and look, there goes all those skeletons and the Witch. Ooh, she's going to get some shots in, though. And there's a Furnace in this with the wall breakers from Dabong.
Okay.
Very, very interesting.
All right, with the Fisherman in it as well, and the Royal Recruit.
Wow. All right, this
Wait,
one.
have we seen the Recruit wall breaker yet?
I have
Asia?
seen it. Yeah, not in Asia.
Not in Asia, right?
No, not in Asia.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of Asia, and
This is a little bit of a variation on one you'll see. Putting the Furnace in there is kind of interesting. That's not the typical thing. At least I didn't see that. It might have been the hidden card, but definitely the Recruits and the double the Witch Night Witch is really interesting. Bomb Tower, very popular. All right, here comes
Balloons coming with the Miner in the back. Dabong?
Dabong?
Okay.
Oh, nope, not in time. Nope, that is a dead tower. That is a very dead Princess Tower. And he's going to get a little bit of damage himself.
Now the Furnace put it in. But anyways, very... Yeah, obviously you guys can tell. We don't have to tell you that that was a bad trade. That wasn't a trade.
Well, it's hard. It's hard with those Recruits, man.
Exactly.
In single elixir, in double elixir, it's not as difficult to get them going. But in single, it's pretty challenging. And if you're trying to just build up a mass of stuff, if there is a Valkyrie available, there is a bomb tower available. That is going to make it a little more challenging for these, these mass pushes to get going here.
Yeah, and you also have to compliment KK because he saw the Witch being put down on the left, and then he countered it with the balloon miner. So right now KK obviously has the advantage, and all he has to do is defend.
Yeah, and he's got plenty of defense available for what Dabong has brought to the table. There's not much going on here right now. Dabong's trying to find some way, somehow, try to get the wall breakers, but right away the bomb tower comes down, eliminates them, still some help for it. This is looking like this is going to be KK's game to start the King of the Hill here. So you can at least a little feather in the cap here for Game With as they take game number 1 of the King of the Hill. But next up is Asher. But very, very good.
Happy to see Asher.
Yeah, and then Expo Master.
Yep. I still want to see Asher go play his old Goblin. Like I wanted to make like a variant with the wall breaker and the Goblin because I still remember in Season 1, like there was one time, I don't know if it was a 1v1 or a King of the Hill, where he just kept bringing out the Goblin like back to back to back. And he wanted to try to make it work. Unfortunately, it didn't work as well, but now that the meta is still shifting, and yeah, there are some meta decks now with the wall breakers included that many players have been playing over and over. But I still think there's room for new types and new styles or archetypes that include the Goblin.
Yeah, yeah. We saw it like one time the other day, but other than that,
Yeah.
it's just been, it just hasn't really found its home inside of the meta. And now that the witch reign is here, we're seeing a ton of the witch now. So useful in this current meta. There's a lot of single target units that it's strong against. I mean, it's like, because it does so much damage. It's like it doesn't do as much as a musketeer, but it's not far off. So it's good against baby dragons. Plus, it's got these skeletons buzzing around it all over the place. It's not much more expensive. It has a ton of hit points. The only spell that kills it are rocket and lightning.
Yeah. The witch is like currently the answer. We talk about a lot of the wall breakers coming out because, to be honest, last season we prayed for a wall breaker to actually somehow make it into the meta. It didn't last season, but after the update, it did. That's a we were talking about how the wall breaker is such a great trade, cost value, blah blah blah. But the witch, we can't forget about the witch, and I'm surprised that we still haven't seen so many double witch decks. Like, we do see it,
Yeah.
but not as much as just the minor wall breaker poison, right? Like, when that happened, we saw it like over and over again.
Well, and I think in general, especially here in Asia, we've got a lot more players who are comfortable with cycle
Correct.
than in other regions. So I think we see it a little bit more here than you will anywhere else. But it's weird because now we're seeing like a lot of decks just have heavy counters to the wall breakers in them. That bomb tower, of course, being an excellent counter to it. And there's the snowball to start this one off. And Asher is just going to bridge spam a Goblin Gang.
Okay. Goblin Gang. We're gonna get possibly a Mega Knight.
Maybe. That's typically what we see it
Yeah,
with.
yeah. Because that's the deck I use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope, it's gonna be a Sparky.
Sparky here. What is Asher thinking with this? Is it going to be the Goblin Giant, or are we going to see something a little more unique, a little different than the normal Sparky pairing? We'll find out here. He's just going to let this Sparky go. It's going to be the Giant. Yep, makes sense. And then the minions to back this up. They're going to get
that's
in
a
there.
great push coming through. That snowball's not gonna be good enough.
Yep, okay. That Ice Golem is nice because it's going to distract those minions. But still Sparky up and running.
Oh!
Not quite. Not quite.
Ooh, that was close.
Ooh, oh, whoa. Asher.
Okay.
Okay, he was just waiting. He was accepting the damage from that Mega Minion. And the Mini P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah, that's gonna be more than good enough. It got its value out for cost. Gets rid of the Goblin Cage, defends pretty well, even though he did take some damage. But right now, I was gonna say right now, depending on what KK has, he might actually be able to turn this around. But with this King Tower activation, it's gonna be a little bit different.
Yep, it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how this one shapes out. You've got a tornado, so you can drag stuff into Sparky here. We're going to try it on the other side. It is going to be a graveyard here from KK. So, is there a poison or a freeze is the real question. We're not seeing any spell as Asher is not interested in defending that bottom left. He is just going to push full steam ahead on the right-hand side. The Executioner going to be the final card in all of this. So that's a lot of things you can drag into the Sparky shot or the Executioner. Or if you want to drag stuff into the Mini P.E.K.K.A, you can like drag a Musketeer into the Mini P.E.K.K.A right away as well. That could you can get some decent value there. And yep, just going to focus on this right-hand side.
See, now that the King Tower is activated, KK definitely just looking at the graveyard deck that he brought. It's going to be very hard. Yeah, he's going to build up some damage with the poison and the graveyard slashes with some great RNG, but still, either way, like Asher's doing right now, he doesn't really need to focus on that graveyard because of the King Tower activation.
All right, the Goblin Cage is there, the Ice Golem as well.
Oh, nice.
That tornado
Nice.
pulling some stuff in, but the Dark Prince down just in time to absorb the Sparky shot. Sparky's going to get a shot for himself here in just a second onto that Brawler. And that is going to be a very dead Mega Minion now. This is Asher building up steam even further back. So he's going to have hopes. Well, I said he was going to have a little extra elixir to work with, but now that Graveyard's in front, and that buys a ton of time here for him. The Sparky gets really distracted by this stuff.
Yeah, he definitely gets super distracted. Great defensive Graveyard, I would have to say, in this situation here.
Yeah, he has to. It's a great use of the Graveyard. It actually really throws Sparky for a loop. Sparky, that's just too many skeletons, then they're all over the place for it to deal with. Sparky likes things grouped up, or single targets that can really hit hard. All right. Oh, bottom left Graveyard again.
That Graveyard, King Tower is just helping out so much, and yeah, the Musketeer this time with the Dark Prince in the back, and the Musketeer does lock on, but look at this. Giant locks on with the Tornado.
Yeah,
the splash doesn't go in.
Doesn't get the shot in. This is really, really nice. Just keep building it up, but I'd like to see an Executioner behind this push with the Sparky. But I don't know if you're going to get time to do it now because KK could Graveyard.
All right, right now, the Giant's Sparky, if it gets there, Asher, KK is going to have a hard time unless he does this. I was thinking maybe KK might want to, race Asher for this, but, it seems like he's not. The Giant doesn't get through.
Yeah, the Giant doesn't get through, but you've got a pretty healthy Sparky and Executioner. Bridge spam the mini P.E.K.K.A. Ice Golem is okay, but oh, that's getting some good value, that Dark Prince. All right, Goblin Cage as well, and now the bridge spam is on. Can this get through the defense? Good snowball to back off the minions and into the Princess Tower of the other one. Will you get a punch? We get one punch.
You get that one punch, but not strong enough to be called a one-punch man. But now, look at this, 5-5-3 versus 5-5-5. 50 seconds left.
Yep, this is going to come down to the wire. It's looking like not even going to bother with the Sparky now. Asher feels like he can build up enough steam, but the Dark Prince is right there. Oh, this is going to hurt. Great Ice Golem placement, because that prevents that Executioner from getting all of those units.
Yeah, I was just seeing that. I was like, oh, that Executioner definitely chose the wrong target there. Here we go. Finally, KK making his move. He found the way.
I don't know if Asher is going to have enough defense if the poison comes through. No poison being used here by KK. That mini P.E.K.K.A. does get a swing up on the top left. And looks like Asher really wants to try to take advantage of this. That is a very unhealthy Giant that's coming up here potentially, but good Tornado to drag the Brawler off.
And that's more than strong enough right there. One punch, two punch. Oh!
Not quite in zap range.
No. Poison.
So this
time
break,
has run
the
out.
end, and it's going to be it's going to be Asher who takes it.
At the end, Asher definitely had a great change of pace where he started to just bridge spam, and you mentioned this, he disregarded the Sparky from a certain point, and he just started bridge spamming, forced KK, and KK found the loophole to use the Graveyard, but that was just way too late. He also needed to pressure Asher to force him to defend, but the King Tower activation, I gotta say, I think was a crucial point.
Of course.
This turning point.
Especially against a Graveyard.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal. When you get that King Tower activated. And there it is right there.
Yep.
That is a really big deal, and probably the key difference in why KK wasn't able to do this. And it was a good change-up by Asher to kind of drop the Sparky, because with that Graveyard there, he was actually starting to kind of lose the exchanges. And then he's just like, well, all right, I'm just going to start pushing with other stuff. And these Tornadoes, dragging everything in, not able to get that Goblin Brawler close enough to, as much as you'd like to get the splash, but it is what it is.
So close here. KK, I think, if they both had like maybe 30 more seconds.
Yeah.
Since the tower wasn't in zap range, and the KK literally just started to just force Graveyard Poison, and maybe just one shot from Musketeer.
I was a little uncertain what happened with that second to last Graveyard that KK had when the Goblin Gang came down, and then there was no poison.
Yeah, you talked about that. You were like, all right, if the poison gets down, we don't know if Asher has enough defense for it. And
yeah,
I was thinking exactly the same thing, and I was watching and no poison ever came down.
I felt like it was worth taking the risk there to just try to go for the win. Might as well. But Blossom's up next.
Yep.
And it's going to be Asher getting a game for himself here to tie things up in our King of the Hill. is it going to be Blossom who's going to turn things around? And he's got a nice new haircut as well, so we're getting some more style going here for Game with their last match of the season. And OPGG really, really wants to win this because then they're just in.
Correct.
They're just in. There's no questions about it. And then it just comes down to who wins between Bren and Sandbox for that final spot, if OPGG wins.
Exactly. So we still do have at least 2 more games, including this game 3.
All right, let's see what they want to do. I love it when you bring Sparky, so go ahead, Asher. Bring it again. Sparky's great against the New Witch. And a couple, you know, the Dark Prince is really what it gives and the Ice Golem gives Sparky a lot of problems because they buy so much time against it, and the Dark Prince especially is really annoying because that shield, you know, it's like, well, there goes a ton of damage. Like,
Yeah, wasted shot that took so long to charge up, but it seems like they don't want to show their cards.
nope. Just gonna wait this one out, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, nowadays, like with such light cycling decks that include the Wallbreaker and the Miner, we don't get to see a lot of, you know, elixir leaks in the beginning, especially in the 1v1s.
No.
We're seeing one right now, so we'll see.
We're just maybe gonna have to wait this one out.
Yeah.
Neither player really really interested in this. Oh, okay, so Blossom's gonna do a snowball. Will that set off a chain reaction? And will these players then go for it? Nope.
This means Asher doesn't have a snowball in his hand.
And the the emote war begins as we wait for the real battle to start. This is like back in like medieval warfare when, like, you know, like the opposing armies would taunt each other before they actually started fighting. You know, they'd use various vulgar gestures and various other things.
If you scream louder, you're stronger.
Obviously.
Yeah.
If you spam more emotes, you're the better player.
And then the moment that you're choosing the emote, somebody like God barrels. It's like, oh, cancel the emote. I gotta log.
I know. That's the worst. I refuse to emote until the game is over, unless it's like clear that I've won or lost, and then maybe I'll throw something in there. But I'm like so afraid of that happening. I'm like, I have to be ready.
Yeah. Especially when you're looking for an emote that's not on your your list. You have to go to the long list on the right side, like click the arrow, and that's when the problem begins. But here we go, double elixir.
Okay, just a Gob Cage. I like it from Blossom. It is going to be a Royal Giant from Asher. What's going to be on the back side? And here is the Lava Hound. He's back. He's back again. And
hello, friend.
Yeah, hello, friend. Let's see what both of these players are thinking with the back. Looks like it's just going to probably be Lava Miner from Blossom. The Fireball, going to back off the E-Wiz, finish him off with the Snowball. Guards are going to buy some time.
Okay. There we go. The Lava Hound is soaking up damage. The Miner is sent here. You have the Baby Dragon and the Mega Minion in the back, still pretty healthy.
Yep, good Fireball cleans up a bunch of Asher's stuff. That Mega Minion, too healthy. He is doing so much damage. I think Asher just wants to do another one. That was too much. That is too much damage.
All right, well, one more Fireball cycle is more than good enough here. Or even just send a Miner if you're, if you know that card is in your hand. But Blossom, great. Quick game.
That's all it takes. Just wait. And then a lot of times when you see both players wait like that, it just kind of comes down to, you know, who can win that first push. And
it's kind of like that mode, that sudden death mode that we sometimes get here, or even in collection days.
Right.
Right? You just get one tower, then you're done.
It's basically what it becomes, yeah. All right, well, Blossom picking up a big win for Game with. OPGG would really like to take these next two. It's going to be all up to Expo Master. Looked great in the 1v1 set. Can he continue it here for OPGG and wrap this bow up on the present for themselves to give them a playoff spot? Great Fireball there, geez.
Yeah. And if you notice, Blossom, he cycled through so fast. He used 2 Fireballs. He used 1 Fireball on the bridge and a log. I mean, was it a log? No, it was a Snowball. To get rid of that E-Wiz early to let the Lava Hound through. And then he cycled through again into another Fireball, doing some damage to the other E-Wiz and the Princess Tower.
Yeah, Fireball, the absolute bane of E-Wiz users. Loathe that. Whenever I see that, I'm like, ah. Because it's so effective. Because like Poison, yeah, it's nice because it does end up killing the wizard if it stays in it long enough. But the fireball is just like really annoying because it's so pinpoint and hits it. You're trying to get the E-Wiz sometimes in behind like the Royal Giant to protect it from the Baby Dragon or a Mega Minion or something, but then it gets backed off by a fireball, and then it, you know, anything else that scratches the E-Wiz will kill it, so it becomes very annoying.
All right, well, if you notice, all the timeouts are done. Expo Master, if he does win, he has to go through Blossom and roll up Horon, whereas Blossom, if he beats Expo Master, it is done and Game Whip takes the win. So now, we've been saying it over and over, OP, they have to win to just make sure to secure any problems of not getting into the playoffs. So we'll see if Expo Master will be able to do so.
I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll get some more heroics here from Expo Master. We saw it yesterday with Benzer. Can he be the hero for OPGG? Or will Blossom just end this and really make it fascinating to see what will happen in that Bren sandbox matchup we have coming later if he can win this. So potential match point here for Blossom and Game With. And yes, now we're getting some good emotes out. And the miner signaling that yes, indeed. Ooh, all right. Expo Master potentially going back to that deck he used in game number 1 of the 1v1 set.
Okay.
Sure looks like it.
It worked out well. The bait plus the God Barrel with no spells.
Yep. Valkyrie good this time, so it is a little different.
Okay.
So there's a Valkyrie here for Expo Master.
All right.
That's a little different. Blossom, maybe just that Mega Knight, Wall Breakers. Yep, this is a little bit of a different variation on the spell bait. Still spell bait, but not identical.
But the Mega Knight is going to cause a lot of problems. Now that Blossom also knows that the Rascal is there, he could just wait for that max value. Nice log.
Yep, Hunter going to make short work of the Rascal and the Rascal girls, but he is very weak, so he's not going to get any more shots off when he crosses that bridge. And we're just going to cycle through into the Goblin Gang. Most likely, you know, we're still probably going to see that Mega Knight at the back end of the deck that Expo Master has. And Blossom himself, we haven't seen that final. I mean, we kind of just feel like it's the Wall Breakers, but maybe it's something different.
It could, like, it's probably the Wall Breakers, but
You feel like it, yeah.
yeah, that's
The way things have been going in Clash Royale.
Yeah, it's like there's a card. It's probably Wall. But the funny thing is, like, if it was the Wall Breakers, like, there were a lot of times where Blossom could have used the Wall Breakers still in the beginning just to pressure a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen Expo use the Wall Breakers, I think, 3 times already in this match only.
Right.
So, like, there were so many times where you can either just cycle through or even just pressure, maybe bait out like a spell if they had, or even a Valkyrie. But we haven't seen that coming out from Blossom, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe some other kind of secret hidden trap here at the end. Oh, you're not going to be able to get the King Tower activated there. Yes, oops indeed.
Yeah, that's definitely an oops.
Oops indeed. All right, log coming down up on the top right. It is good. That Mega Knight is fighting a Valkyrie that is standing inside poison. That can't be pleasant for the Valkyrie. There's those Wall Breakers.
There we go.
Waiting. A log is available with some Rascals to make quick work of it, but that Miner getting a bunch of big hits on the backside. But so far, it is advantage Blossom. There's no Mega Knight this time around for Expo Master.
Yeah, so you know how we saw, or we thought when we saw the first couple cards, we're like, all right, so it's a Goblin Barrel with no spell, but now he does have the Tornado and the log just to make sure.
Oh boy! No, that's not enough. One of those gets through.
All right, well now the King Tower gets activated a little bit late. But you can see that Blossom, I think in a way, it was good for him to hold back the Wall Breakers to try to find a timing for that Wall Breakers to go in.
Yeah, now Blossom is finding a rhythm against Expo Master. He's using those logs, of course, only for that Goblin Barrel. The poison is being used on the Princess. So right now, it's been a little bit challenging for Expo Master to keep things, keep things alive, get some damage in. He's doing better. The top left is slowly going down. That is misplaced with that Valkyrie there. And so that's going to be some extra damage from the Miner.
Yeah, but the constant damage that Blossom has been able to put in with the Miner, I think it's definitely adding up. You can see the tower HP difference. And Blossom has more than good enough units to defend against all the units that Expo Master is sending.
Yeah, okay, that was good Goblin gang placement, soaking up a bunch of that minor damage. Even though they eat the poison, that's okay. At this point, Expo Master needs to prevent any damage possible. Not sure if Expo Master wanted to split those wall breakers there or not. That might have been a bit of a misplacement.
Oh my goodness.
Really
Lovely
great
predictions.
Yeah, he's doing really good with those predictions. But Expo Master's got to get something going up on that top left, because we're starting to get, you know, with that spell damage advantage that Blossom has, things are getting, try to juke him up.
Ooh.
Good hunter placement.
Yeah, that was great because he did it. He used the log for the princess. All right, these wall breakers.
Yep, they will not get through. Good defense, very good placement, but the poison
wait,
in there. Oh, that's a couple hits.
Yeah,
that's a couple hits, and the shot for the princess comes in as well. It's going to be raised top left, 116.
Look at the
just going to get it on the top right.
The wall breakers and the rascals just pushed through. But yeah, you were talking about the top left was also in danger. Like Expo Master, both lane pressure was just super high, and he just found the perfect timing to kind of force Blossom to, like, you know, split defense. But he didn't have the great spells and the units ready to defend it well.
That was nutty. The way that these players have been calculating the ability to put the screws on at the end when they're behind with those wall breakers and find a situation where they can take advantage of their opponent and get the win when they're like behind is really amazing. Oops.
Yeah. Like, even this oops was big because activating the King Tower is huge when either your opponent has a graveyard or even the miner. And as you see, Blossom did bring the miner, and having the King Tower activation earlier would have definitely helped Expo keep a stable game, even though he did end up winning.
Right, now what started to happen was that Blossom started to let that top right tower take some damage so he could get the damage himself onto the bottom right, but Expo Master's defense impeccable. Look at this, that rascal leading the way. 800 damage comes from those two wall breakers, and then one Billy Club hit with that rascal boy, and that is a win for Expo Master. And now it all comes down to this. Can Rollaporon find revenge? Can he take down Expo Master and dash the hopes of OPGG?
You know, in the past, we have seen one player lose to another player in 1v1, get swept like 2-0 like Rollaporon did. And comes King of the Hill, they get their revenge. We have seen that many times this season, so I think it's still possible for Rollaporon just to win one game, because that's all they need to, you know, beat OPGG Sports in the last day of the regular season.
That's all you need. He can do it. He's a darn good player. But man, Expo Master looks really, really dialed in these late game situations. It looks like he's really thinking very well around corners, kind of understanding the math as things unravel, knowing when he could take advantage of his opponent, trying to overpressure, overcommit to something, playing good defense, and then using that himself. So really should be fun to watch this final game, of course. This is it. This is everything on the line right now. It's tied up 2-2 in this King of the Hill.
Game 5.
The Game 5 that you want, that you look forward to, is here.
Alrighty. And you know, every single day as we see Expo Master play, it feels like he's back. He's starting to prove to us that he's back compared to last season, where, you know, even in the beginning of the season, the VCR said, all right, I'm going to focus more prepping for this league. Oh my gosh.
So Expo Master was just going to cycle that. So is Rollaporon. Expo Master definitely gets the slight advantage. I mean, it doesn't
matter. They're both.
It's not the hugest
But you saw
thing.
Rollaporon to have that, you know, that laugh. It's like.
Yeah, he's like, oh. Ooh, Royal Hogs from Rollaporon.
Tesla, Archer, and look at Rollaporon. He already knows.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not getting much damage out of that push. But I mean, Expo Master did have to commit a fair amount of elixir to defense there, and so Rollaporon actually is fine. That was totally fine. A lot of times we're seeing this Archer paired up with this. It's going to be the Mega Knight.
I still
popular.
I still love. Like, look at Rollaporon. Like, you can see him smiling. Like, he's enjoying this day.
Yeah.
He's enjoying the game, and I love it.
Yeah, at this point, you know, you got nothing to lose. Just play for, you know, try to be the spoiler. It's, you know, it's your day. All right, the fire is here. And now the Tesla is going to be in the way of these Hoggies. They're going to get a little bit of damage, but they just nibble. They just nibble a little bit.
They drool a little bit on top of the Princess Tower, but there we go. Finally, Expo comes out.
And in what other way would you want this? Oh no, oh no, 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 that's one.
Nice. Yeah, he had to use the fireball. Ooh, that was just
And right away, the Goblin Gang is there along with the bats. Ooh, that log actually missed one of those goblins. And that's going to almost let a bat get a hit. Yep. A little bit of a mistake there from Expo Master, but I mean, what better way to finish this one off than Expo Master playing his iconic deck?
correct. I was thinking exactly the same thing, but the mini P.E.K.K.A is put down just in case. And here we go with the Royal Hogs.
Yeah, Expo Master's got to be very, very careful because of that magic archer. He does have the fireball to deal with it. The skeletons are going to help against that mini P.E.K.K.A. And that one was pretty much a null for both players. And Expo Master really trying to find a time that he can get that Expo going offensively, but he needs to have the fireball available because you got to be so careful with that magic archer.
Yep. And you know, we're used to seeing the defensive Expo come down first and then the offensive Expo. But right now, Expo Master, he's not gonna have it. He's just gonna go super offensive all day, right away. And once again, the magic archer, where's the fireball?
Oh my gosh, he doesn't have
elixirs,
it.
Yeah.
He didn't have it, and so that gets a ton of pokes. That is so much damage from that magic archer. It makes things so hard here for Expo Master. This time he's switching up to defensive mode, and there's going to be a fireball that just comes out right away from Royal Poron, having plenty of elixir available to just let that fly. And there are those fire spirits that help a lot against those Royal Hogs.
Arrow.
Yep.
Close.
Good Tesla placement. And now he has an option because that magic archer is going to be out of cycle here for just a second. He can try and get this going again. Good archers at Tesla. Here come the Royal Hogs. There comes a fireball this time to help deal with those. And we're going to get that mini P.E.K.K.A log locked onto Tesla in front to defend.
Okay, so this is going to be big if that Expo locks on, but the Ice Golem will definitely take up much of his time. And that Expo will not succeed in locking into the Princess Tower.
Expo Master got a ton of value out of that, though. Got a ton of value, but there's so much just cycle available here for Royal Poron as well that he's able to weather these Expo storms. They just keep coming through. Great prediction with the Fire Spirits.
And it locks on it. It's very, very healthy. The Knight takes away the attention from the Magic Archer as well.
That was the moment that Expo Master needed. The Fireball is there, but there is just enough damage. We are in Fireball log range.
Oh my
Expo
gosh.
Master does it. He is going to take game number 5, and OPGG will secure themselves a spot in the playoffs.
Holy, what a great ending for OPGG. Expo Master winning with Expo. It felt like Royal Poron was keeping the Expo busy for the most part, and then Expo Master finds a small loophole, and he allows that Expo to lock on.
Those Fire Spirits at that Gob game.
That was...
That's dirty. That is just absolute filth. And you can see the look here on Game With. Their season is over, and that's heartbreaking for them, coming in second place at Season 1, and now they aren't going to qualify for the playoffs. It's been a very rough season for them, and it was definitely just not their phase, I guess. I don't know.
It definitely isn't, because it's just surprising that the second place team, Game With, they weren't even a second place team like last year or whatever. The time hasn't passed that long.
Yeah.
It was just one season ago. And this season, they were just struggling throughout the whole season. And at the end of the day, they still don't make it. They don't have a great comeback that we see in great Hollywood stories. They just go straight down the drain, unfortunately.
Right. Well, that is going to do it for our first match of the day. Up next, Bob Gaming versus OG Anentis. Stay tuned, guys. This one's for first place.
안녕하세요. 저는 오지엔 엔토스의 반델리온이라고 합니다.
때문에 벌룬이 일단 한번 밀어냈다.
아까웠고 시실 반델리온.
올킬이에요.
이 덱은 일단 메가나이트랑 해골통 그리고 여러 미니 유닛들이랑 광부를 사용해서 상대의 감전이나 눈덩이 그리고 바바리안 통 이런 스펠들을 유도하는 그런 덱입니다. 주로는 해골통이랑 그다음에 광부가 아무래도 핵심으로 딜러 역할을 하고 있고 수비는 이제 전부 다 임페러니 드래곤이 도맡아서 하고 이제 지상 병력이 상대가 좀 많이 온다 싶으면 메가나이트를 써주고 이거를 되게 잘 써야 돼요. 눈덩이랑 해골통 콤비가 있어요. 이게 해골통이 죽는 순간 데스 데미지가 떨어집니다. 그거를 눈덩이로 빠르게 커팅해줄 수 있는 것도 되게 중요합니다. 이 덱의 장점은 멘탈이 약해질 수 있는 덱이에요. 상대가 대응을 되게 빠르빠르 못하면은 타워가 순식간에 빈사 상태까지 그냥 가버리는 경우가 허다하고 스펠을 어느 쪽에 써야 될지 상대가 고민을 되게 많이 해야 되는 덱이라서 잘 쓰면 되게 까다로운 덱인데 문제가 이제 단점인데 솔직히 말씀드릴게요. 유리한 덱은 없습니다. 현 메타상에는 거의 존재하지 않고요. 그냥 안 좋아요, 덱은. 쓰지 마세요. 저는 레골통의 아버지이기 때문입니다. 자, 광부가 나왔는데 저 같은 경우는 이제 성격이 급해서 선패를 못 기다립니다. 연장전에 못 가는 성격이라 그냥 광부 노바꾸러 갈게요. 상대 해골이 8렙인데 아, 이런 기분이 좋죠? 일단은 미쳤네. 어이구, 다 쓰네, 다 써 그냥. 이거 맞아줘도 돼요. 상대 그 덱이네요. 로자 낚시꾼. 그쵸? 해골통이 딜을 넣긴 넣는데 상대가 엘릭서가 없었나 보네요. 이거를 그럼 캐치를 해주고 제가 엘릭서를 우위를 점하고 있으니까 광부 그냥 공격적으로 한번 쓸게요. 상대는 이걸 막아야 되거든요. 그쵸? 그다음에 상대가 아까 통나무를 해골통에 뺐기 때문에 한번 찔러줍니다. 용광로가 나오던가 유닛이 나오거나 할 텐데 용광로가 나오네. 아, 용광로 7렙이야. 귀엽다. 상대 저 덱은 알고 가셔야 됩니다. 인드를 끊을 때 번개 하나예요. 그 점을 잘 이용해야 돼요. 덱을 외우는 게 가장 제일 중요하시다 보니 하나 뺐죠? 이러면은 용광로가 나올 테면은 용광로를 해골통으로 대신 받아줘요. 또 낚시꾼이 돌아왔거든요. 네. 베이비 드래곤도 돌았네요. 이러면. 아까 말씀드린 게 잠깐만요. 이렇게. 이러면 수비가 됩니다. 저 덱이 박쥐도 끊을 게 애매해서 데스 데미지 들어가고 네, 하나 늦었죠. 앞에서 잘라주고 여기다 던져주고 쉽게 할 수 있는 팁이라고 하면은 공격적으로 플레이하는 거 가장 어려운 점은 상대 덱을 다 파악해야 된다는 건데 그 파악을 잘 못하시는 분들은 공격적으로 하면은 상대 병력에서 빠져나가거나 그래서 체크를 할 수가 있어요. 상대 카드가 뭐 나왔다. 머리가 빠질 수도 있어서 알아서 탈모약 잘 챙겨 드시고 평타가 매트했을 때는 저도 폰을 한번 부셔가지고 박격포에 대한 적응이 완료되신 분에게 추천드리는 건 제일 답답한 순간이죠. 선패가 많이 미안합니다. 하나님 이게 네. 저 어디 가냐?
아니 저게 되게 말이 안 되는. 일법 있고 바바리안 역카운터고 일법 역카운터고.
선수들이 적어들면 저 아무것도 못 하겠는데? 그러면 안 되겠다. 내보내면 안 되겠다. 나랑 할 때 적어 들고 오겠는데. 쓰지 마세요.
Let's go.
Welcome back, everyone, to Clash Royale League Asia, the last day of the regular season. It's Group B. We are through our first match. OPGG Sports qualifies for the playoffs. They will be your third place finishing team out of Group B. So we already know our first matchup in the playoffs, OPGG versus Dragon X, will be the one that we know, and it's going to be It's going to be on Sunday. It's going to be the second game of the day. So look forward to that. It's going to be Korea versus Korea. That should be one heck of a match. And, oh, okay, Bob. Yeah! Not bad. Not bad. Show up there, sport those guns.
Like, all right.
And then everybody else is nodding behind him. Solid B on that one, Bob. Solid B. Not as good as your Shiva dance with the arms. The OGN, I know you were trying, so we'll just give you the F minus.
F minus. Oh my goodness. Just give him summer school. You got to do it again.
Summer school?
Yeah, you got to take it again.
Well, this one's quite a fascinating matchup as well. This is for first place out of Group B. Whoever wins this is first. Whoever loses is second. That's all there is to it.
Yep.
That is 100% what we got. Jack versus Dandelion. That is not surprising here. Maybe you could see TNT, but Dandelion's so cool under pressure. I think, especially with this new meta, this guy is really creative, so he's going to bring some stuff that's going to probably be a little shocking potentially. And then Thunder and One Crown have been quite good in their 2v2s this season. I mean, quite good. 7-2. Now, not as good as Kensumeshi and Kita-san.
8-1, right? Or
8-1.
Yeah, right? Oh my goodness. So basically, because these two teams are the top two teams of the group and they've just been dominating this whole group, the records are just insane. 7-2, 8-1, that's just insane. We'll see what happens at the end of this day, but just seeing these two pairs from OGN and Valve Gaming go up against each other is going to be epic.
Well, and I tell you what, if you really, both these teams really want this win, because this is the difference between playing Ponos or Chaos Theory.
Yeah.
Chaos Theory is fourth, Ponos was third. So whoever wins this gets to play against Chaos. The loser here gets to play against Ponos. And, you know, let's just call it what it is. Ponos has been more successful overall in Clash Royale League Asia than Chaos Theory. Not to put any disrespect on Chaos Theory at all. I wouldn't want to go up against Benzer Rydell right now. I don't care who you are, but Ponos as a team is really deep, and their 2v2 is excellent.
Yeah.
So, you know, definitely looking to try to get that #1 spot. Of course, you know, there's money and other things involved, but let's see what these two excellent 2v2 teams are going to do. I don't think this one's going to be decided in 2 games. I don't think either one of them can 2-0 each other. I think this is going to almost assuredly be a 3-game set.
You know, we were talking about this before we got live. We're gonna get into game #1, but you were assuming that we're gonna get all King of the Hills today.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if it went that way.
This was the only one where I thought maybe there's a 2-0 possible, but I don't think so. There's just too much on the line. These players have been grinding and preparing so hard this week. Wallbreaker is gonna split up, and it's gonna be the recruits from OGN Entis this time. That Wallbreaker is gonna get through.
Gets rid of all the shields of that recruit on the left side.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't think in OGN Entis' mind there was any way that
Wait,
Wallbreaker...
are we gonna see a clone?
You could clone the Wallbreakers, I guess.
No, because of the Scale Barrel.
I know.
Like clone the Wallbreakers and the Scale Barrel.
No, I don't... Maybe?
No. Yeah, I'm going too far. Just because I saw Scale Barrel, I was like, oh.
We see Scale Barrel a lot paired with some faster cycling type things as well. So that's very possible.
Yeah.
This is just going to be, there's a Mega Knight coming down on the right-hand side. Bomb Tower had to be emergency placed, but it's also in range of the Miner. But a lot of damage done to that top left, particularly because of that early Wallbreaker that got through. It's going to be the Graveyard for OGN Entis. Quite a bit of damage coming through on that bottom right with that poison and some big hits from the skeletons.
Offensive Poison here, but the King Tower activation, every time we see...
Oh my God.
Goodness, they're just going to let that run go. But as I was saying, when there's a King Tower activation and you have the graveyard, that's always a problem, whether it be a 1v1 or a 2v2. So, and OG and Entis, as I was saying, that they took that wall breaker damage. So, yeah, like they're not in such a great position right now with their opponent's King Tower activated.
I don't think this is over by any means for OG and Entis here. I think they just need to wait for double elixir time with these recruit decks as we've seen. That's when those really start to shine. They can get just a little bit more damage on some of these pushes going for them.
Yeah.
They can absolutely turn this around into 2x. So they just want to get as much as they can. We're having a little bit of technical issue here, guys. Sorry, bear with us. So they didn't get much damage, but they did some more on the left. So if they can get one Princess Tower down, they might be ahead.
Yeah, but as you were saying, you know, the recruits, we always saw the pair that brought the double recruits have trouble in the beginning, but, you know, starting the double elixir time, when that recruit, you know, starts to force your hands, that's when the recruit team starts to come back, and we'll see if that'll actually work out, because they have to get rid of one tower right now. There's only 30 seconds left. They're going to try to do that with the Mega Knight and the Graveyard.
I take back what I said because that did a bit of a glitch there, and the Princess Tower damage on the left changed.
Yeah.
All right, this needs to work.
Oh, the right side. They have to get rid of it.
All right.
15 seconds left. Another Graveyard.
Yep, another Graveyard. They're going to try. Will there be the freeze? I don't know if they're... Well, they might have to do it. They're not getting enough damage. Otherwise,
They
yes,
do
there is
freeze
a
it.
freeze.
There we go. They're going to tie it up.
Okay, so it's tied up, and now they're a little bit ahead. Our Fav Gaming, but not by much. OG and Entis is quickly climbing back into this at a rapid pace. And this is where the recruits become scary, because in 2x, you could get them out there quite quickly.
Exactly, the 2x recruits, especially, oh my goodness, you just constantly put him down, and even with the Mega Knight Graveyard just going back and forth, it's just pressuring you, it's forcing you to defend, and it's going to cause a lot of problems picking that rock.
Yeah, unfortunately, two of those recruits still had their shields up, but that's okay. That rocket still gets quite a bit of value here for Fav Gaming, and you got to look at that rocket, and will that be what this match comes down to? No damage done in quite a bit of time now. That Mega Knight right on top of that Dark Prince. Sebastian, wow, we're just going to try the Graveyard right on the King Tower.
Yeah, we saw this.
Interesting.
Yeah, we saw this happen, I think it was last weekend. It actually worked quite well, and look at that, the freeze. It's so much easier to grab everything that's around the King Tower rather than, you know, seeing the split units put down around the Princess Tower. So we did do some damage here.
Well, because of the surface area that gets created back there, Log and Snowball aren't going to get all the skeletons from the graveyard because they spread out in a flat line. All right, another huge push. Rocket, good, but not good enough. There is a lot of damage here. There is a Log on the back, so that is just able to hold this off our Fav Gaming, but the pressure is continuing to build. You have a healthy Mega Knight up now, and look at this. They're just going to keep trying it. They're going to try to use that Skell Barrel to get rid of the Bomb Tower, but the Baby Dragon put a couple belches into it, and that is instant death for those skeletons.
Yeah, and the defensive poison really doesn't help that much because the back of the King Tower is so thin so that, you know, it's like you don't even need a lucky RNG. They just pop out, scratch, pop out, scratch. So they're going to do a lot of damage compared to when you Graveyard a Princess Tower.
All right, they're going to back everything up with a Log. They just need to keep the OG needs to keep the pressure on. Somehow Fav has to find
Scratch is going
something.
through. Look at the skeletons.
Whoa, just able to get that Bomb Tower in time, but it is not enough on the bottom there. The King Tower will be going down very shortly here for Fav Gaming. The poison will finish it off. Good defense on the top from OG and Entis.
Goodness.
Yep, once you get to 2x, those recruits are much, much more scary.
Yeah, you know, we were, I was at least worried a little bit when those wall breakers started to get through, and OGN, they just did a horrible trade in my book in the beginning of the game, and I was like, all right, so if Fav is able to constantly pressure, but you talked about how when it gets to double elixir, the recruit decks are amazing, and we've seen that happen over and over, especially on Thursday as well as just now. And, you know, double elixir recruits are just crazy good at, you know, controlling the field.
You gotta make a calculation, and it seems like it's not a good one, and I was questioning it too.
Yeah.
That King Tower did get activated here early on for Fav Gaming, but that was still not enough.
Yeah, look at this. This is the moment. It's like I was like, all right, so that trade definitely not worth it.
So we missed that King Tower activation during one of those technical glitches because I don't
No,
know.
it was it was the fisherman that pulled the Mega Knight and the Mega Knight splashed that.
Sure. But I think it happened during one of the technical issues we had there for a second.
Yeah.
All right.
But the graveyard behind the King Tower, I think, is just one of the best usage. Because regardless of King Tower and the Princess Tower, just, you know, the three people shooting at the graveyard, they come out and scratch it so fast that, you know, it's just a lot better compared to using it on a Princess Tower.
In a way, yeah. It's weird because of how the skeletons
The skeletons pop out, yeah.
Just think if there was a goblin graveyard. The skeletons end up popping out there, and they just kind of, like I said, they flatten out, and then you can't just use one spell or one unit really. There's a lot more surface area. That's what makes the graveyard kind of interesting, is the surface area that you have to work with there. All right, let's go into game number 2. OG and Entis looking pretty good there. Of course, Ram Rider banned, just kind of a favorite of Kichi-san and Ken Sumeshi. So, and also very popular and very strong in the meta, in the 2v2 meta. A lot of Mega Knight Ram Rider all over the world. And we're just going to wait this time. No one really interested in trying anything.
Okay, so on a 2v2, we don't get too much of Elixir League. Yeah, in the beginning, we do see it sometimes, but here we go. Yes, that's the emote.
The best emote.
Yep.
Number 1. And we're just going to be waiting. Waiting.
Alright,
This could just be really fast.
Yeah.
Once we hit that, you know, sometimes they talk about it and then they decide that they want to go for it even before the 2x Elixir.
Yeah.
But this time, so far, both teams are going to wait it out. The real question is when do they start it? It depends on what their decks are. Sometimes they'll start it like, you know, 20 seconds or 10 seconds before the 2x Elixir time. But
They would put something down behind the King Tower like a couple seconds before to build it up.
Right. Just to kind of alleviate some of that Elixir pressure that's building up.
Alright, well, we still have 40 seconds left, so... Does that, the white flag, does that mean they forfeit?
Yes.
Do they forfeit?
Yeah, that's
All
over.
right, 5
All right, good job. Congratulations.
5 gaming.
We did it.
Oh my goodness.
It's over now.
Alright.
Clap.
It's coming close to time. Are we gonna see like a 5 to 10 second early release of whatever card that they have behind the King Tower, or?
I mean, we haven't been seeing much Golem, so I'm not really expecting that. I mean, it used to be that, like, when you had pauses like this, it was like, all right, it's the recruits.
I was going to say, it could still be the recruits. They wanted to wait for the double Elixir because they know that's when they shine.
I like the change up here from Bob, bringing that Mega Knight. He's pretty effective against these recruits, but now there's a Witch as well here. The Bomb Tower going to be being picked up. Very, very powerful against the recruits as well.
The Witch.
Basically the same deck for OG and Entis. There's a Witch here. And now there's a Witch available for Flav as well. What else is going to be here? It's going to be a Graveyard from Flav. Oh, nope, it's Balloon here.
All right, gets pulled in here, and nice. They also have the Bomb Tower. The freeze goes through, though. Early freeze from Flav Gaming. That Balloon's still pretty healthy. Another freeze.
Defensive freeze.
Yeah.
Woo. All right, look at this. They're just going to spam it. They've got nothing but a Valkyrie and a Fisherman on the ground, so they know they might be able to get this through. A Baby Dragon's not enough.
Good enough. Not even double.
It's 1. It's going to be 2. No. Just going to get the death damage now, but a huge momentum swing for Flav Gaming. All right, can this Graveyard get anything done for OGN? The Night Witch in the back makes this pesky and difficult for the Graveyard. The skeleton she brings helps, and her rate of fire is pretty decent.
All right, so I was thinking, you know, OGN, they might want to use that offensive freeze, but they're not going to do that. Offensive freeze, and then a defensive freeze comes through the Miner and the Fireball. Finishes it up.
There we go. You don't expect either of these to give up easily. They've been too good at 2v2s throughout the season. Just too darn good.
All right, 1-2-1. What an exciting game here that we have here. But, OGN, I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to, or they just had something else in mind with the Graveyard, because it was just only a Witch that was defending that Graveyard, the second Graveyard that OGN sent. So I was thinking maybe if they have that freeze, if they were able to cycle through it, I don't know, it was chaotic. But if they had the freeze, I think it's possible that they could have used it.
Yeah, they may be, but that Balloon is so worrisome for them. They don't have actually a lot of great defense available. for that balloon, because there's this problem with all these other units that are around the balloon, like the bats and the skeletons from the Witch. It makes it hard to get one of those single target lock-on, like the Witch or the Musketeer, to get onto that balloon. And then you have a bomb tower for defense. This is a great change-up by Fav, capitalizing on a lot of the fact that they realized that most likely OGN was going to stick with the same deck. You bring the Mega Knight for the recruits, and you bring the balloon for the bomb tower, because bomb tower doesn't shoot at a balloon.
Yep, exactly. And they also brought their own bomb tower here just in case for that recruit as well for the other side. And just great. And just Fav Gaming has it figured out. We'll see if OG Anantis now, with the timeout being called, is able to come back, because now it's one apiece.
This is exciting. This is what we thought might happen.
Yeah.
This is gonna, you know, there's just too much talent this season on these two teams. They've been too good. Too good in 2v2.
Too good in 1v1.
Too many times. Yeah, they're great in 1v1 as well. I mean, both these teams have been just stellar. Stellar. I mean, Jack's been incredible. You know, 5-4, which is an amazing, but pretty darn good. And then 5-3 in his King of the Hill game. So he's been pretty clutch for them. And their 2v2, though, has really been the story of the season for Fav. So many 2-0 victories for them because they just win these 2v2s every time. Who is the one they lost to? They lost to Bren. They lost to Trainer Ken and Monong GP. That was the only 2v2 they lost for Fav. That's crazy good. I mean, that's crazy good. All right.
Yep.
Timeout is over. It begins. Fav, you got to feel like most likely OGN's going to make some kind of change. You got to try to predict that change. There's going to be potentially an Inferno Tower available here to help deal with the Mega Knight and the balloon, is my guess, what you might see instead. So maybe you could bring a Lightning to try to counter that, but Lightning's a little risky because if they bring the recruits again, it gets kind of wonky.
Yeah, there's so many, you know, steps that you have to think about when you want to counter your opponent, because they can also think, all right, they're going to try to counter us with this card, so we're going to counter that. And they could go one more step further. So, you know, the mind games is real.
Fascinating. We're not going to wait until the until double elix. It's just going to be starting off with Valkyrie and these kind of things. We're just waiting for the trump cards. And ooh, that's a great poison. That's getting a lot of value for you. And there's the Mega Knight this time from OG and Entis, so they're the ones giving the change up, and it's going to be the Inferno Tower here, and that is right on to that Mega Knight. So Bob thinking ahead, making a good change.
The skeletons actually do get a couple scratches. They do roughly, like, you know, 300 damage onto that bottom left. But that giant skeleton push now is going to be troublesome for OGN here, but they stuck with the bomb tower.
Yeah, Earthquake underneath this.
That's a good one.
Great. I mean, that Hog Rider does get taken down, but that push is overall pretty effective for Fav Gaming. They get a slight elixir advantage in that, of course.
All right, well, the fact that Fav, they brought the Earthquake, I think it was a great choice, because now they forced OGN to, you know, basically bring at least one building card, and every time that's put down, the Earthquake is going through.
Right. I mean, if it's an Inferno Tower, amazing. That's even better.
Yeah.
But it's still the Bomb Tower, and it's still good against that.
Either way.
Either way, yeah. The Earthquake's a great ring. And it's going to be a giant skeleton as well from OG and Entis. We're going to spam one on the bridge for Bob to try to get this Hog Rider in here.
It's in.
Yep, he's going to get in. Ooh, he gets pushed back, though. Oh, the freeze is too late. No, the freeze is too late from Bob. Oh, that's not what you like to see.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Yeah, that's a no-no. That definitely is, but we'll see if they are able to come back from this, because the Graveyard Skeleton on the bottom right, they stacked up. They've already done too much damage. The log was a little bit late with the Dark Goblin.
I love what Fav is bringing here. They have a lot of answers for what OG Entis has. So right now, if I'm looking at this, I think Fav has a slight advantage just in the situation they brought. They got the Earthquake for the buildings. They got the Dark Goblin for the graveyard. But we'll see. You never know. OG and Entis, I mean, but Fav made a mistake with that freeze. So that we'll see if that does come back to haunt them.
Yeah, when you, like, especially on a 2v2, one or two small mistakes will definitely build up your opponent, and they're gonna come in hitting hard. But we'll see here, another graveyard and a freeze here.
All right, Dark Goblin, but the Mega Knight jump lands. Dark Goblin can only do so much. There's a Valkyrie to distract that other Valkyrie. Good poison's gonna end up killing this Dark Goblin and the Musketeer. So now OG Entis is taking advantage of the mistakes by Fav.
Yep.
What do they got? Oh, look at that. That is so cute. That skeleton goes the other way when you drop that right in the middle.
Yeah. There we go. I was thinking in the beginning, just a great freeze. I think there we go. They're just gonna play it safe. They're gonna let the Hog Rider go through, and yeah, this is what I was thinking. Just play it safe early. Just get the chip damages done. But because you guys both brought double hogs, that's what you need to do. Build up, and you know, Fav, after making that mistake, realized that they're gonna just play it safe.
Yeah, this is pretty wise by Fav. They're just gonna try a naked Hog Rider here, and he's gonna get pulled back. The Earthquake is there, but you're not gonna get any Hog Rider damage, just that Earthquake damage. So now things are starting to swing back to Fav. They've recuperated a little bit, but here comes another Graveyard. Can they get the defense? The Dark Goblin is there. You don't want that Dark Goblin to get too much closer. He's gonna get into freeze range, but there's not enough time left on the Graveyard anyway. No problemo. Look at that push to the top left.
Yeah, top left is gonna be the big one. There we go with the freeze. This one looks good this time around. The Hog will get more than enough swings that they are happy with it. And a couple more cycles through the Hog and the freeze. I think Fav might just have it in the bag.
Yep, they just need to keep doing this. This time they're going to lead with the Lumberjack. There's a Dark Prince and a Bomb Tower.
Nice.
Great Earthquake, but down to the bottom right, there is a Graveyard as well, but that Hog Rider gets another big swing. We are in a spell damage range. The poison comes through. It is going to be Fav Gaming taking game number 3 and the set.
Woo! Yes,
they're
they
psyched.
are happy. Wait, they're 9-1?
9-1 now.
Jeez.
They have taken the mantle as our top 2v2 team this season. Is Fav Gaming. The Japanese teams are so good at 2v2. Every season, there's some of them that are just dominating 2v2. It's crazy. And that's painful for OGN. You can see Thunder.
Yeah.
He's not happy about that. But it's okay, guys. You got Dandelion coming up, and I tell you what, I feel pretty good about his chances. Jack's amazing, of course. But for some reason, Dandelion just does nothing but inspire confidence in me. I mean, he hasn't lost a set or a King of the Hill game this season, by the way.
Oh.
This guy
He's all wins.
He's all wins.
This guy comes back. This season has been his season. He didn't play that many games. Like, he wasn't like a designated 1v1 player, but he does come out like as a secret weapon. And whenever he does, he wins all the time. And I think this meta suits him.
He's so smart, so creative. He's cold as ice. The guy looks like he is completely bored on stage.
He's like,
he looks like he's like, oh, I got to be up on stage now? All right, that's cool. That's all right, guys, no problem.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Well thought out by Fav Gaming. That final deck they brought, really well balanced, had a lot of answers. You know, if OG and Entis stuck with the recruits, they had some answers for that. They had some answers for the Graveyard, because that was probably going to happen no matter what in some version. And then they had the Inferno Tower, which helps a lot against that Mega Knight. And then they just put the screws on here.
Yeah, just you know, the Hog Rider, every time we see it, especially in 2v2s, just one swing every time you cycle through a Hog Rider, right? Because you have two if both of you bring it. Just one swing every time, it builds up, and when you have that freeze, and when you're able to just get 2 swings from time to time, that's going to be more than good enough to get a Princess Tower down. And after that, you're just able to defend with the Giant Skeleton. And, you know, what better card than to defend with the Giant Skeleton against Mega Knights or any other, you know, pushing through bridge spamming units.
Yeah, that Giant Skeleton's so good in 2v2. We figured that one out in the previous seasons of Clash Royale leagues all across the world. People started to figure that one out pretty darn quickly. Yeah, you can get a lot of value out of that. And Jack, he's got a 2-game losing streak in 1v1s, so it's been a little bit of a tough go for him as of recent times. But you know, it was a 1-2 each time against Jai and Rolaporon in situations where Fav was, you know, already pretty ahead and pretty much looks like they were going to the playoffs. They were pretty secure. So, you know, when you go up against these teams like Bren and Gamewith that were fighting for their literal playoff lives, you know, it's a lot tougher. These teams fight a lot harder. You know, the mentality is just stronger a lot of times.
Definitely is. But here we go, the man Dandelion, who has that 100% win rate right now. Today is the last day he plays before we get into the playoffs and then into the finals. I want to see this guy keep his 100% win rate.
Oh, there's a bit of a sigh, so there's some emotion coming through on Dandelion normally, but this one's a little more pressure. This one's for all the marbles. He's got to keep his team in it, try and take them to the king of the hill. As we get into game number 1, Dandelion versus Jack. I am thrilled about this. This is going to be awesome.
Definitely is. Every time I see both of these players, because of what Jack did last season, because of what Dandelion did last season, both of these guys, it's lovely to see them.
So happy about it. And the bats. So Dandelion looks like he's favoring those wall breaker cycles as well. And Jack looks like he's just going to go for the battle ram. And Dandelion looks like he was watching Benzer play. Do get a big hit. Some big hits there from the Barbarians and that Royal Ghost. So this is going to be curious here for Dandelion.
All right, here we go. The P.E.K.K.A. gets pulled in. Oh, the Mega Knight just decides to lock on it. This is no good for Jack here.
Oh no, at least Jack has the E-Wiz to keep his poor P.E.K.K.A. alive, but what a pull from that Fisherman. Now the Witch, yep, this is pretty similar. Just a Fisherman here instead. A little different than what Benzer ran, but not significantly. The Poison, of course, from Jack. It's gonna...
And the splash damage from the Royal Ghost. Both 2 splash damages from the Royal Ghost went in.
That's huge.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I was looking, I was like, is that just the poison damage? But no, it went down like 200s every time, so.
Gotta go advantage Jack right now for me with the decks that they're bringing. The P.E.K.K.A., of course, amazing against the Mega Knight. Even though the P.E.K.K.A. could get pulled around by the Fisherman, Dandelion doesn't have good answers for the Battle Ram.
Yep.
There aren't great. You can use the Witch, but you got to be kind of careful with it. The bats are kind of okay, but those can get zapped out. So you got to bait the zap out with the, I don't know, I think those are going to get through. Yes, okay. I was going to say, I know minions don't do it. One of them gets through, because I've had that happen to me too many times.
All right, well, you know, we saw Dandelion's Fisherman get a big win with that P.E.K.K.A. pull and the Mega Knight locking onto Jack's tower, but that was it. That was it. They weren't able to kill the P.E.K.K.A. He was able to defend it, and now, as you say, Jack definitely has the answer. He's already figured it out. He's just going to play defense. He's going to wait it out 40 more seconds.
Yeah, he's going to poison. That's going to get rid of the Witch. Do a bit of damage to that Fisherman as well. And now the P.E.K.K.A. wants to come back for more. Miner on the backside. Another P.E.K.K.A. Great placement by Jack there. That is going to eliminate that Miner. And Dandelion, for the first time I can remember, the pressure has gotten to him. He looks a little perplexed about this one. And look at this. Yep, this is exactly it. Dandelion has no answers. I mean, he has the Mega Knight, but even that's not ideal here. It's too little, too late. And Jack is going to take game number 1. Big comeback for Jack. He needs this. Going into these playoffs, wants to come in with some confidence.
Dandelion, yeah, in a way, he kind of like prepped. He's like, all right, if Jack's, brings a quick cycle deck, I have the Mega Knight, I have some of these units that can get rid of the small units all at once. He even brought the Zap. And Dandelion, in a way, I think he prepped for Jack, plus adding in the current meta deck, which was the Wall Breaker. So, like, when the P.E.K.K.A. started coming down, when the Battle Ram started just running through, Dandelion, literally, like you said, in the middle of the game, no answer, no great answer, I should say, for those cards.
You don't want to be using the Mega Knight on the Battle Ram. It's a 7-4 trade there. That's too expensive. And then you can just throw a P.E.K.K.A. down on the Mega Knight side and get a ton of value.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you're in a really bad situation. Yeah, there just isn't great answers for the Battle Ram is what it comes down to. Yeah, you could try the Witch.
I was thinking of Fisherman to pull it like he did right here, but look at that, zap.
Too late. Yep. You can zap him, you can zap the Witch and get rid of her skeletons. So there's a lot of just stuff you can do if you're Jack to keep that Battle Ram getting its charge damage.
Yeah, because as long as the Battle Ram gets close and like he's already put down the Fisherman and he gets close, you're gonna either put another card down to use more elixir just to defend against one Battle Ram, which is gonna be a bad trade. And at the end of the day, all in all, that's a bad trade and you're gonna be in the back foot.
Exactly. Well, Let's see what Dandelion's going to do in game number 2. I want to see something off the wall, crazy.
Yeah.
I want to see something like a Dandelion special here. Or is he just going to kind of go with the same thing? We've seen him do this too, where he gets hyper-focused on one deck because he wins with it. But you don't often see him just drop the first game of a set like that. So let's see what he's got for the comeback. It's going to be the Miner to start. A log from Jack. Just going to kind of use that to cycle and buy a little bit more time. Zap. Let's get rid of that skeleton and add a little extra damage in. And now there's an Executioner here and a Night Witch from Dandelion. Here we go. Now this is what I'm talking about. Royal Giant from Jack. So it's going to be the Night Tornado variant. Looks like that's going to get the Executioner. I don't know if that's what you want.
No, that's not what he wanted. Yes, but thankfully he does. Dandelion does have the Hunter, so it's still, look at the damage that has been done.
That's still just not enough. Yeah, the Hunter's fine, but he's not actually the best of the best solutions. Oh, this could be some damage.
Wait. It's locked onto the Miner.
Oh, that Ice
Nice.
Spirit.
One
in
cost.
the nick of the time.
That's the MVP Ice Spirit right there.
Well, Jack loves the Ice Spirit.
Yes,
he talks about that in his videos.
Yeah, Ice
He
Spirit,
loves
skeletons.
it. I get it. It's really good.
So right now, as of now, the Princess Tower damage is pretty similar, but every time I see a Royal Giant, I still have to say, you know, it's definitely a lot quicker compared to what Dandelion has with the Giant and the, and the Night Witch in the back. The Poison Miner will definitely do the chip damage as it is doing right now.
The punch comes through though.
Here we go, the counter push.
All right. There's that Hunter, there's a Zap, there's the Hunter. Yep, that Hunter, he helps, but it's still quite a bit of damage. You get 3 shots. The Hunter's much better against something, when you can pull it with that Fisherman.
Yeah, the Fisherman Hunter combo, like you put it in the middle and then you like pull it and then get that 1 damage off. A lot better, but Jack, all in all, took a lot more damage. The Miner Poison, as I said, did a lot of chip damage. We'll see if Jack is able to come back from this.
Yeah, he's taking quite a bit of damage on that bottom right. Once again, the Poison used. What is he going to do here? Royal Giant's on the way.
That's a bad pull by the Fisherman. That's another bad pull. And I'm just looking, and again, the Royal Giant gets, I think, 2 to 3 shots here off.
Yep.
And it's going to add up.
I mean, Jack's done basically more total damage, but it's been across 2 different sides. Whereas
the execution is going to cause problems.
Yeah, Dandelion's been able to keep it pretty focused on one side. Zap.
Zap.
1 more shot. Okay. So now you're 2 Royal Giant shots in a log, basically, for Jack.
Poison, though.
Yep.
Poison log, Zap.
Oh, he predicted on there. He was waiting for it. Is it going to come through in time?
Here we go.
There's the tornado, and Dandelion just barely gets it through in time. That was so close.
Jack was predicting every single card. Like he
logged. Yeah.
And then at the end, he even Ice Spirited.
He logged into nothing.
Yeah, he logged into nothing. He logged the air, and then he Ice Spirited. And before he could jump on the Miner, he got that shovel swing first, and he was able to win.
Patience was great from Dandelion there.
Oh,
not to fall for it. I mean, if Jack catches either one of those, then he looks like a genius. But Dandelion just knew. He knew that that's what Jack had to do. Because he knew Jack needed to buy enough time to get a Royal Giant down. And knowing that Dandelion, with that deck he has, he doesn't have anything that can stop 2 Royal Giant shots.
No.
He just doesn't.
Yeah. He just had to kill it first, and he was able to do it. And that's why Jack also knew. He's like, just need to defend once. Just need to just buy myself just 2 shots. And, he tried. I got to give it to him. He tried. Look at that Ice Spirit. The Zap stopped him.
You've been hanging out with Simon too much.
Oh, yeah.
Say meself.
Meself.
That's some UK slang there, bro.
Came out without
I've been hanging out with him, man. I don't know if it's good for you.
Yeah. Oh, Simon, are you hearing this?
I hope
are
he
you
is.
hearing this?
I hope he is. Because I got a cast with him next week.
Oh, yeah. Both times for the playoffs. And
it's just going to be him and I ripping on each other.
Yeah,
That's just what we do. That'll be all right. It's all in good fun. He's a great guy. All right. Timeout from Fav.
They want to finish it.
Heck yeah, they do. Interesting stuff from Jack. Very kind of uncharacteristic Jack decks.
Jack decks.
Yeah, the Executioner Royal Giant Tornado is very popular across the world, still in the meta now. And then, of course, the P.E.K.K.A. Battle Ram, which is, you know, I mean, it's not like we don't see him play heavier decks. He does, but he's more well known for his ability to play cycle decks, and those are more, you know, his comfort zone. But to be a successful Clash Royale League player, you have to be able to play a wide variety of things.
Correct, and Jack has been showing that to us, and even this guy on your screen, Dandelion, like, it was so close game number 2. He was able to come back. It was literally just 1 shots away, and he gets it. We'll see what happens in game number 3, but I still want to see Dandelion just come out with some crazy deck.
Well, I tell you what, the drama here in Clash Royale League in Asia has been incredible the last couple days. So many incredibly close games, so many come from behind victories. Just been amazing, amazing games. What an absolute pleasure it is to watch these players. They are playing out of their minds right now. Everybody is playing at such a high level.
Yep, and Jack showing us the miner. I think this is going to signal something quick.
Yep, they're both doing it. So far, a mere match. See if that stays true. It's going to be wall breakers and bats.
Ugh.
So they'll, with the zap, bye-bye.
The zap bat right on the bridge is just going to catch everything off guard.
Ooh. One back gets a poke.
Okay.
Look at this. I think they might actually be playing the exact same deck. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. It's going to be the poison from Jack and the shot with his
if the witch locks on, that fisherman is not going to be good enough, and the skeletons actually got a lot of scratches.
All right, what is Dandelion's answer going to be? He's going to go for the miner, but that's going to get pulled by Ye Old Fisherman, but there is a snowball for the bats. So the difference right now is the spell choice, Sap versus Snowball. Not going to make the biggest of differences. Whoa, just in time. Okay. Comes down your Mega Knight.
Fisherman does get 2 slaps. That's going to be big because before, already Jack's Witch and the Skeletons did so much damage that this has already built up, and it's only 1,100 HP left for Dandelion. He has to come back.
Look how those skeletons spread out now around that Mega Knight. He only gets 2 out of the 4.
Yeah. It takes so much time. Like, even the Valkyrie, you talked about this, like, they spread and then they kind of split and then approach the Valkyrie, that sometimes it causes the Valkyrie to spin at least twice.
Yeah, and this time it's going to be Fisherman versus Fisherman, as he's going to use the Witch to clean that up, and we're just going to try. Ooh, wait. Oh, just in time. Yep, Zap was good enough. The Zap is good enough. It looks so close every time with those breakers. They make you feel like something could happen, and yeah, you got to use a Mega Knight here to tank.
Look at this.
I know.
The Witch on the left side is just going insane.
That was crazy. Oh man, Jack is getting so much value out of these witches right now. Big
Wall
push
breaker,
here on
wall
the
breaker,
left
wall breaker.
and the right. The wall breakers go right in, uncontested.
And the Witch from Dandelion also going crazy. All right, they're going back and forth. They're like, all right, who punches harder?
This is like a boxing match where nobody's trying to defend. They're just slugging each other in the face, trying to see who can stand longer. Miner in the back, good bats. The snowball is very, very good from Jack, so that's going to be a tower down. Dandelion has to make this on the left work. Does Jack have the defense? No, he does not. It goes down. It is even Stevens. Oh, the Mega Knight jump. Oh my God.
They're doing a rush at the ball.
Oh,
no. My goodness.
Jack.
Holy.
Jeez. What is going on here in Clash Royale League Asia? That was so close. There was 16.
Gosh.
Dandelion thought he had it. But somehow, some way, Jack is just able to out-time him. Crazy.
The pocket wall breakers. This guy. I saw the Mega Knight jump onto his tower, and it had like 750 something HP right, for Jack. I was like, all right, that's done. Like, we're gonna go King of the Hill. And then Jack's Miner was also getting hit by the bats. I was like, all right, there's no way. There's no way. And then the wall breakers come through. I was
He watched Benzer. That's what Benzer did time and time again. Those wall breakers, they can get through in the pocket. It's no problem for them. And that's going to do it. Fav Gaming will be your #1 team from Group B. They will be going up against Chaos Theory on Sunday the 20th, October 20th. Mark your calendars. That'll be a doozy. Watching Jack and Benzer potentially clash should be a lot of fun. I'm sorry, excuse me, they're going against Ponos. Excuse me.
Who?
Wait.
Bob Gaming is going up against Chaos Theory, yeah.
And then OGN, sorry, I was like getting ahead of myself. OGN's gonna play Ponos. That's gonna be one heck of a matchup as well. Two very strong teams. Gonna be butting heads there. Wow, what a finish once again. Jack able to narrowly outduel Dandelion. Up next, Bren Sports versus Sandbox Gaming for the last playoff slot here in Group B. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back shortly.
Actually, I'm very nervous because I'm not sure if I can beat.
It's your first time?
Yeah, and it's my first time too. I think I can handle it, and I know in myself that I will do my best, so don't regret.
I just advise to don't scared, be confident. Yeah, that's it. Dia by dia in this deck. Kung hindi naman gagawin mong push, tingnan mo. Lalo nag-uulim yun kasi alam mo, di ba may kalang siya. Huwag mo na paabutin ng 4. Ang kailangan niya pala, pero yun lang. Ayun ang nilagyan niya. After...
Abutin yung dash.
Kung medyo nakalaman siya ng konti. Ayun o. Yun naman. Yun, tsaka niya pa yun o.
Gusto niyo
Sa taas sa may tower.
Dead damage mo.
Hindi, pwede na naman kanina to yun eh.
Ito ko mo, bilis.
Di ba?
Ito, sasakit na bilis.
Yun lang.
Ito,
Hindi pa.
Ito mo, harap ko ito para malam mo na. Hindi ko alam.
Okay sana ang ginawa niya. Sinarniya niya na lahat ng palayo. Kung nilagyan niya lang yung master.
Yung
Saka
number, makaka-diretso.
Oo, tinan mo, ang golden pin ko. Kanina pala ang ginamit siya. Kung nilagyan niya palayo lahat yun dun, tapos controlin niya lang. Dapat ka naman kasi again. Gamitin ba siya rin pag bugbugin may dragon mo. Oo, tsaka mag-bandit ngayon. Antayin mo na makadamage yung master. So damage mo lang. Pinaabal niya yung master parang kasi na-step niya yung kalang. Hindi pa siya lalagyan mo ko lang yun sa abandit. Walang-wala na yun. Pagkatunay niya ko lang.
Nagtitipid kasi ko kala ko baka mag-goal sa bigla.
Play safe ka na lang.
Play safe kasi yan. Wala nang panalo yun.
Nung pag-dito niya parang sabi niya, shit na agad yung utang na yun. Sabagay, mga play safe.
Agree, kailangan mag-akalubutik yan.
That's why the score is 8. Nabugahan ba yan?
Hindi.
Nabugahan nga?
Ito kabila oh. Isa.
Wala na. Itawa tapos na. Sober na lang yun, di ba? This deck is for us. It's the balanced deck for KK and he play comfortable with it.
I think 10.
Wow. I think it's 8. 12, I think. Yeah.
15. We will go into World Finals.
Let's go, Brand fighting.
Let's go.
And welcome back to Clash Royale League Asia at the Seoul OGNE Stadium. We wrap up the regular season. We have one more match to go, and it is very, very important. It is going to be Bren Esports versus Sandbox Gaming. Whoever wins this gets the fourth place slot in the playoffs. This one's going to be a doozy.
It definitely will be. Let's see what they have prepared for us.
What?
Whoa, Sandbox. Sandbox, is that? Whoa.
I don't know what that is. I got nothing on that one.
Yeah, they prepped something at least.
Is it because of their logo?
I think, possibly.
Yeah, we'll give you a C+. C+. Tried.
But either way.
Bren waved and smiled.
Yeah, I think I like that better.
I don't know what was going on with
because I don't
Sandbox
understand what, you have to allow us to understand whatever you prepped. But
I need some K-pop dance moves coming here next season.
Yeah.
All right, so nothing too surprising here. Jai versus Icelaw, Connie and Sato, Trainer Ken and Manong GP, about what you'd expect, and then Poo-Poo and Greed coming through as your fourth players. When I'm not even gonna say if, I'm gonna say when we go to King of the Hill. That's just how I feel about this. Who knows?
Yeah. Because
this one is a coin flip to me.
It definitely is, and to be honest, it's definitely very close. That's why they're going up against each other for that fourth place position, regardless of sets and games. Whoever just wins, however they win. We can go all the way to game 5. We can get a straight 2-0. We can, it doesn't matter how they win. Whoever wins, they just get the fourth slot for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that also proves and means that they're that close in the records.
They're both really, really good. It looked like Sandbox might have been like one of the top teams here this season. They started out really hot, but then as time went on, the wheels started to come off, and Icelaw started to show some weakness, especially. He started out so good, winning his first 3. And then he lost 2, then he won against Game With, and then he lost 2 more, or 3 more, or 2 more.
Yeah, he's just been going up and down ever since after his 3-win rate.
Right.
3-win streak, I mean.
So, what is going to be the situation for them? The 2v2, again, it's mostly been Connie and Sato, and they've been not great. They're 2-5. When they tried Green and Shinshu, they went 0-2, and they didn't even win a game.
Nope. They didn't win a single game. They just got 2-0. So right now, Sandbox, yes, they are the last place team, even though they had such a great start. So their record, as we see it here, is not so great. It's not going to be so great. But as we say, for all the games, even the previous and the first match, it does not matter. Today is the only day it matters. Forget about all the records and the past of how many times you lost or maybe you didn't win a game. Doesn't matter. Win today and you're in.
Exactly. That is all that matters. Get the W and get into those playoffs. Here we go. Game number 1. The final match of the regular season. The final match here for Group B as well. Maybe game number 1.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe that one, it seems like it's starting to squiggle into a 2.
Spin the lights on the ground. Disco time. Maybe might have a little bit of trouble here. Maybe a little bit of a technical issue or something's going on here. But we get to listen to this dope music longer than usual. Look, there's like actual other stuff. Usually we just hear the guitar riff.
Yeah.
But now there's
build up.
Listen. Now you're taking it away from us.
Yeah, at least let us enjoy. At least let us enjoy the music. But yeah, there is definitely a small technical issue, not a huge one. So seems like they're gonna just try to maybe rejoin the game.
Yeah, sometimes these things happen.
But look at Mano. He's playing so hard right now. Like I don't know. Like, does he know that there's
I thought
an issue?
they were playing because Mano was going crazy over there.
Look at him
tapping away.
And they're actually communicating. They're all playing. Don't even know what's going on.
I'm gonna play the music for you. All right.
Oh, okay, so now I got the actual reason why. The game is actually going on.
Oh.
The technical issue is on the side of the observer.
Oh no!
So he could, I think.
Ending, go run in and watch.
Yeah, maybe. Can
you see the screen?
I don't know. Oh no, it gets like cut off right at the door frame, and I can't see it.
Oh man. Well,
dang.
Here, let's predict what's happening.
Exactly. All right. So
Mega Knight Graveyard versus
Royal Recruits.
Royal Recruits.
Yeah,
there we go. All right.
And it can't be Mega Knight Graveyard because Graveyard's banned.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Royal Recruits. possibly Pekka Battle Ram.
Well,
Battle,
then I'm just way wrong. I was so focused on everything else going on, I forgot about the bans. I almost forget that there's bans in 2v2
Yeah, I
because we don't see
know.
them in anything else now. All right, well, the game is happening. It's going to find some kind of conclusion one way or another. And then we will be
Don't even know what's going on. I don't. But you can see that Bren, it seems like Sandbox is pressuring Bren because both Trainer Ken and MotoGP, they're tapping their devices like crazy, and Sandbox is so calm.
Yeah, let's just, okay,
Trying to read their
there's
faces.
a head tilt there, so maybe something didn't quite go their way on that one.
Communication.
My money is right now
I'm on Sandbox.
All right, I'll go Bren.
Okay.
I'm going Bren. Yeah. And now all you could talk about is like their facial expressions and like look how fast he taps.
Yeah.
So
That could be a good one, good fast tap or a bad fast tap. What do you think?
I don't know if that's what.
Oh, there we go.
We did it. We're back. Yay! Mega Knights. And Pekka's and Battle Rams.
Yeah, Battle Rams, Mega Knight Battle Ram, Pekka Battle Ram.
Oh boy. Oh, that's
That's a Sandbox.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
a Sandbox.
It's not 100% yet, but still, it just seems as if we've been going through it, and Sandbox overall did more damage.
Well, here's what I'm seeing just based on the decks that are available.
Yeah.
Sandbox has Lightning, and Ren Esports has Inferno Tower. That's probably making a big difference.
And also, Sandbox has that Pekka.
Yeah.
Bren have 2 Mega Knights.
Yeah.
So that one Pekka is going to be causing a lot of trouble.
Exactly, and there it is.
There we go.
That's going to be the game. It is going to be Sandbox taking that first one. Sorry about that, guys.
Very, very sorry. But at least these players, I'm kind of sad that we didn't get to see the full game, and we are very sorry that you guys didn't get to see the full game. But I'm also in a way happy that the 4 players that are playing the game didn't have any issues. So like they don't have any complaints of, like, oh my god,
At least,
there was this issue.
At least the players didn't have any
Exactly.
problems.
So let's just be thankful that at least the players were able to enjoy and play their regular game without a problem.
Well, I mean, we got to see the deck, and sometimes when you can see the decks, you can kind of figure out, like we said, with the Pekka against the Mega Knights, you have the Lightning for the Inferno Tower. That right there is making a bunch of difference, and you're getting the extra spell damage from the Lightning as well if you're Sandbox. So nice start for them. This is huge. If they can win this, then they're going to put it on their ace they brought in from overseas, Icelaw, who's been their only 1v1 set player the entire season. This guy started out so well, beat Jack, KK, and Expo Master. And now, if they can win this next one, that's looking pretty good for them. But Ren Esports, no slouches themselves here. They are definitely going to try to find some way to get this going. I think we had either a technical timeout or just an actual timeout there.
No, it's because usually it's the highlight time. But the observer didn't get into
I
the game.
forgot about
yeah,
that.
so that's why like Sandbox Day 1, so it usually would highlight
I
their
just forgot
highlights.
there. I'm so discombobulated right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, it's like, what's the order again?
Yeah, what
order
year is it?
Yeah, what year? So what am I doing here? But anyways, yeah, Sandbox takes their first game. Like you said, Icelaw, he has his ups and downs, but I still believe that he's a very strong 1v1 player. So if Sandbox takes this, I think there's a high chance of Sandbox making it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever when you look at it, whoever wins this 2v2 has a really good chance of winning.
Yeah.
Because they're 1v1s. Both teams are, they're okay. They're not great. I would say I have to give a slight advantage to Sandbox because of Icelaw. But, I mean, Jai, of course, he's quite good. He's 4-2 in his 1v1 sets.
3 winning streak right now.
Right. He's been really good lately. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Beat TNT, Jack, and Hooney. So, but I don't know. For some reason, I'm feeling
more towards Icelaw?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Jai's really good, too. I mean, like I said, the whole thing for me just feels 50-50.
51-49?
No, I don't even. I'm not even leaning towards it. I'm not even giving blackjack odds on this one. Just not sure. All right, game number 2 begins. And what changes will be made? There's some wall breakers. And
a little bit
that
late.
was too late.
All right. It's okay. We've seen
Bowler. Hello. We don't get to see this guy very much. And it's going to be some... Oh. This is so good. But he's still focused on recruits, but he dies.
I think it still bought him enough time, and look at those bats, perfectly timed, but the Zap will get rid of it.
Yep. All right. Do they have an answer for the Inferno Tower here? Otherwise, that is going to be a dead balloon. Not going to use it if they have one.
All right, well, I'm kind of in a way worried for Brent Esports because Bowler and Mega Knight are such great counters for the recruits. However, we always have to go to that point where when it's double elixir. The pressure from the double recruits are crazy.
You gotta keep that fisherman off your bowler. Yep. You gotta keep him off. There is a rocket.
All right.
Right on top. This is
Rage.
Rage.
Ah,
The freeze is too late. It's too late, but you're gonna get some decent damage from that recruit anyway.
So close. It could have been so much more.
All right, Miner on the back. And yeah, right now it's another one of these situations where you feel like you like the recruits when it comes to double elixir, but like you were saying, there's a lot of good answers to the recruits in Sandbox's hands right now. Plus they have the rocket, and a lot of times we see that make a huge difference at the end of the game.
Yep.
Because usually these teams are pretty neck and neck.
Yeah, you're not gonna get a game where like somebody loses a Princess Tower so early that whenever the timer runs out, you win right away. Like the spell damage add up, the build up is huge, and most of the time we see the spells doing majority of the damage.
All right, there we go. Inferno Tower down in time.
Nice. Locks right onto the
as well. Yeah, that's really nice. Mega Knight, okay. Recruits are down in time. Good spread with those recruits too to get maximum value out of them onto that Mega Knight. And that bottom left takes a bit more damage from the poison. There's a bowler in the way though, and he's a beefy guy. Good rocket once again from Sandbox. Eliminates that push.
Exactly, the rockets have been working, and look at this. The tower HP seems pretty similar, but I still think all in all, Sandbox, they are pressuring, they're doing the chip damage, and they also, like you said, have the rocket for the end game.
There's a great counter to the wall breakers in that Goblin Cage available for Brent. So that one they're not too worried about anymore. They had a bit of a misstep early on, took 400 damage from one when we just bridge spammed, but defense looks to be pretty solid here from Sandbox on this push. I don't think anything's gonna really get through. Yes, indeed, we're just gonna poison right on top. That is a really nice poison. Getting a lot of units inside of it, a bunch of those recruits, and the Witch as well. Mini P.E.K.K.A. Rob. Goodbye.
Able to buy enough time, and I'm telling you, the poison, the minor chip, and then at the end, they're just gonna finish it with the finale rocket.
Yep.
Nice prediction though. If this continues, the minor chip doesn't go through, then they're not gonna even get the chance to rocket.
Yep. Log just trying to get some extra damage in. The balloon on the right-hand side. The Mega Knight gonna be there with the Inferno Tower. There is that bowler who is just going to get a ton of. All right, but there is a Ice Spirit or a Musketeer. I was gonna say, or a Mega Man. They've got like a bunch of, or not a Musketeer, an Ewiz available. So there's a lot available for Sandbox on the defense against that balloon. Still gets the death damage, which is nice, but
the Witch.
Yeah.
The Witch.
All right. Ooh, the Witch. God, so much damage there again.
Nice pull. So they're literally, Brent knows, they can't let the miner do even a shovel chip damage because very soon it's going to be in the range of rocket poison. And I think if they have a little bit of breathing room, they can do it very soon.
Okay, they have to defend this.
The balloon.
Yep. I mean, you do have rocket poison or rocket. I think Log is just a short of it. Oh, there's the freeze.
The freeze.
What else you got? The bats. Are they in time? No, the zap comes through.
This
great
is
timing.
The power of the balloon.
Yeah, the balloon is so dirty.
Oh my goodness. And I was constantly talking about how, Sandbox was basically in range for rocket poison. But when it gets to double elixir, Brent with the recruits, you're not gonna have enough breathing room to actually rocket poison without any problem of defending your own tower. And especially when there's a balloon freeze, you have to think so many possibilities of how you're gonna defend it when it freezes, what you're gonna use. Oh,
they were great. I mean, I really liked everything they brought here, but just some really good timings with those freezes were important for Brent. And those balloons, you can't let them even get one drop. One drop is so catastrophic. And I thought maybe, it looked good for Sandbox, but just able to squeak through as Brent.
Yeah, I still got to, props to Brent for just, they knew. they were so focused on just defending that miner. They were used the nice prediction with the Dark Prince just there. They pulled it with the Fisherman multiple times, and they knew they were taking the least damage. And then when they had that small opportunity, Balloon Freeze ended the game.
That freeze just clips that Mega Minion. That is a big deal. And then the Zap cleans up the bats. That is a huge deal that that freeze gets that Mega Minion. They even tried to use the snowball to push it back to try to keep the Mega Minion out of the freeze range, but it's not enough.
Definitely not enough. And 1-1, I'm telling you, today's games are crazy. They're just going neck and neck.
It's just been, this is what happens every year, every season of Clash Royale League Asia. These last couple days where everything is so close are just always hectic. Lots of King of the Hills, lots of extremely close games. All right, let's see what Sandbox wants to do differently. It's going to be Brent Esports with the Mega Knight Ram Rider this time.
Are we going back to the game number 1 that we didn't actually get to see?
Yeah,
They're
now
doing a replay for us?
This is the actual, yeah, we're going back in time and we're seeing the first game. Bam! I love it when they crisscross there like chest bump. Oh man, what a lightning.
What a lightning.
That hurts.
Definitely nice lightning there. Ooh, that's even a nicer rocket right there.
It's pretty worthwhile to use that rocket on the Witch. It gets you quite a bit. Yeah, it's 1 elixir difference, but you're getting a ton of damage onto that Princess Tower.
All right, this time Brent brings that P.E.K.K.A. In game number 1, we saw Sandbox bring it. And I guess they didn't feel good about bringing just 2 Mega Knights. So.
An early Inferno Tower from Sandbox indicates to me that they feel pretty comfortable defending against this P.E.K.K.A. even if that Inferno Tower goes down.
Yeah.
Because that Inferno Tower doesn't last as long as it used to. But it's still going to end up being the one that focuses onto the P.E.K.K.A. here anyway. So I was just wondering if maybe there was a spell for Brent. We know they have Lightning. But maybe they would try to get rid of it before it came up. But we are only in single elixir, so a little more patience.
Yep, here we go, Mega Knight Bowler. They're actually liking this Bowler strat here. The AoE, a lot of wall breakers, a lot of recruits. I think Bowler is one of the better units that we haven't actually got to see a lot.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, you can stand behind tanks. It rolls for forever away. And it's pretty tanky itself, pretty immune to spells like lightning and the like. Doesn't take critical damage from that, and a Baby Dragon isn't going to deal much damage to it either. The Miner on the back end, that Ram Rider going to be used. Is the Bowler going to throw 1 rock? He does get 1. That hurts. And now Sandbox taking a commanding lead.
Right, this is what happened before, but Brent was able to actually come back from a huge lead that Sandbox had and turn it around. We'll see if they're able to do that, because now we're in already. We've been in double elixir time for the past 30 seconds, and there's nothing huge happening with Brent. I don't see any answers coming through.
Yeah, I love the mini P.E.K.K.A. here from Sandbox. A cheap option that deals with that Mega Knight very, very well. Now, trying to get that bridge through, but it is so cluttered. There's so much mass on that bridge. Nothing can get through.
Look at the Ram Rider.
Isn't able to get there. That Ram Rider wants it, but the rock pushes it back. The Ram Rider isn't heavy enough that it actually can not be moved by the rock. Most of the tanky units like the Royal Giant and the P.E.K.K.A. and the Mega Knight don't actually get moved by the rock because they're heavy enough. But now, good. Mega Knight with the mini P.E.K.K.A. as well. Goodbye, P.E.K.K.A. Love what Sandbox Gaming has here. This is looking very strong.
My goodness, but that was a great pull from Brent Esports Fisherman to negate the jump damage from Sandbox Gaming's Mega Knight. But like I said, right now, once again, great rocket. Sandbox, they have the advantage for sure. They just have to defend, and they're defending so well. The Bowler is just being the MVP of this game.
Yeah, this Bowler is so powerful in this meta. Makes a ton of sense. Good against the Witch, good against recruits, good against a lot of stuff.
All right, very soon they're going to be in the rocket range.
Yep, any more damage? I mean, 2 spells. Rocket, Snowball is enough. There's
There
the
we go.
rocket.
Wait, is rocket? Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
Follow it up. All right, great win. Very stable and consistent by Sandbox. Like, even game number 2, even though they lost, it was so close. It wasn't like one-sided, but the games that Sandbox actually won, game number 1 and game number 3, they dominated.
Well, I really like their deck construction across the board. They really were well thought out. I mean, game 2 I really felt could have gone either way. And it was Bren who's just able to outthink them a little bit on their feet. But then in this one, it's just really well put together. And now Bren is going to rely on Jai to be their hero today. Can he do it? Can he do the impossible? Can he pull off? We've seen it already a couple times. We've seen Benzer do it, where the team lost 2v2. Then he just goes on and dominates. We saw Expo Master do it for OPGG. Now can Jai.
Gosh, that's just too much. Like, my brain is gonna get fried if Jai does it again here.
Well, I tell you, that last game in that 2v2 ending,
yeah,
that like let me calm down a little bit.
It did. It did. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it was very one-sided in game number 3 that it was very easy to see. It was very comfortable to see of, you know, who had the advantage, who was keeping the advantage until the end, and Sandbox did that so calmly and so constructively that it was very easy for us to see and cast. And yeah, it did calm me down, but now that you just mentioned that, like, the possibility of Jai just coming back and just dominating everything and Bren Esports goes up all of a sudden, oh, my head.
Could be. We'll see. This 1v1. Now there's a ton of pressure again. It's going to be Jai versus Icelaw. Jai, as of late, been really, really good, but now, new meta time. What can you do?
Well, we'll have to see. Manong GP already beat Icelaw once in the previous matchup that they have gone up against. And it is Jai's first time going up against Icelaw ever in a 1v1, either in King of the Hill or in 1v1. So let's see if Jai is prepped for Icelaw, because like we said, Icelaw, even though he has his ups and downs, he's a very good player. Jai also ups and downs, but recently he's been going up.
Yeah.
When you go up too far, you may just roll down.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's the old myth of Sisyphus. Roll that boulder up the hill and it ends up coming back down anyway. But Sandbox had the boulder and worked out well for them in that 2v2 matchup. So this is going to be really interesting. I cannot wait for this. All of these matchups today have been so good, so hype, so incredible. I mean, we have just been getting some of the best games that I can remember. It's just crazy good how fun this is. All right. It is time. It is going to be Jai versus Icelaw. Game number 1. So I'm just looking through here on what they played last time. Jai really wasn't into the new meta yet. He played Wall Breakers one time.
Yeah, if you look at the recent records, yeah, he does, but like most of the time he prefers, or he usually plays like the heavier decks rather than the cycle decks.
Right.
Comparatively to, you know, the lighter decks. But we'll see if Jai is able to, you know, mutilate the wall breakers, or, you know, put the wall breakers into the decks that he likes.
Yeah, both he and Icelaw gave the wall breakers a go one time.
Yeah.
So it looks like Jai, yep, exactly. The Royal Giant, like you were talking about, he likes these kind of heavier decks. And 1, 2.
More than good enough.
That's okay. And this is probably clone, potentially clone from Icelaw, maybe not. But it looks like clone right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good call there. All right, well, it's kind of calming to see these two decks, because they're like, it's weird saying, oh, they're the previous meta, right? Like, because nowadays, for the past couple days, the wall breakers have been going crazy with the witches, but these two decks we're so used to.
Right.
The first half. Oh, there we go.
All right, he's already going to try the clone right out the gate here. There is a lot of damage being done. There is a lot of very healthy stuff. The E-Wiz comes down, cleans up a bunch of it, but that is a nice, solid push here by Icelaw. And he's still ahead in Elixir.
Yeah, ahead in Elixir, definitely did more damage than took damage, and Icelaw just has to build up once more, and in 5 seconds, double Elixir time, a lot.
And then it's even scarier.
Exactly.
I mean, I gotta like Icelaw's chances in this game. That clone deck is so brutal.
Is he gonna let? Okay.
And Jai brought the Goblin Cage here instead of a Furnace because he assumed something like Wall Breakers was coming. Because you're not bringing You're not bringing Goblin Cage against Clone. That's not what you're thinking. Oh, but this time, all right, he's got to defend on the left, of course, because that Royal Giant is there. Fireball's going to clean up that flying machine. Here comes a log, and the bats on top of everything. Here comes the Clone.
But nice Baby Dragon, I gotta say, with the E-Wiz, the split damage, the splash damage is going to take care of it, but still does take a lot of damage compared to what he did. Icelaw, with the very light units, he was able to defend against the Royal Giant, so Icelaw still, I gotta say, has the advantage here.
Very slight, but yes, and now he's keeping the pressure on. He's able to get to his Lava Hound before Jai could get to that Royal Giant. That's huge for Icelaw to keep that Royal Giant off the board, keep the pressure on. Clone out already. We want to get that. We want to get that lumberjack range going here. We get the split into the pups. None of them have connected onto the Princess Tower.
None. Perfect defense. Perfect defense. Icelaw, he tried. He kept the pressure up, but now he has to take a breather. And when that breather is happening, Jai has to figure something out because that Royal Giant needs to do work. And there we go, the bridge Royal Giant here.
All right, the guards aren't in front of the Royal Giant in time to distract the lumberjack. Nice. So good snowball with the bats, going to mitigate a lot of that damage. Well, the Goblin Brawler not able to get up, and now you get a couple whacks from that lumberjack on the left. Now we're trying to set up. Good Goblin Cage here to buy a little bit of time. The Clone comes out already from Icelaw, so feeling pretty confident about that. Trying to get as much damage early on. There's the Fireball in the middle. It's not going to get the Flying Machine. The Flying Machine's going to lock on. That could be tower down. Jai has no answers. Icelaw takes game number 1.
It was beautiful and smart to clone the Baby Dragon and the Lava Hound and keep the Flying Machine out. He didn't even play the Flying Machine. He waited. And then right as the Fireball shot, he's like, all right, Flying Machine.
Well, he knew the E-Wiz was already down. Yeah. And he knew that that was going to force the Fireball onto the Lava Hound pups. So he knew he could bring that Flying Machine in afterwards. It's the bait. You're baiting it out. You get that Fireball out, and then you can play that Flying Machine. He played it a little bit before the Fireball even came out because he knew. He knew that Jai would have to use that Fireball on the pups.
Yeah, definitely. Like, even if both are there and they're both not in range for both, you don't want to. The Baby Dragon won't die in one. I was saying both too much, but the Baby Dragon won't die in one shot if it's healthy enough. That's why Icelaw like kind of staggered and like spread apart the Flying Machine away from the group, like you were saying, and that was just a great play. Usually, like for me when I play, it's like, oh, spam everything behind the Lava Hound.
Look at it. See, the E-Wiz was already out, and it just gets melted.
And even that Baby Dragon is still tanking that Princess Tower till the end.
So good. Really well done there.
Play.
Really well thought out by Icelaw. Now we take the timeout as Jai. This is match point here for Sandbox Gaming and potentially season-ending point for Bren. All the hopes of Bren are on this man.
You know, it's very awkward and weird to already know that game with the previous second place team is out, not making it even into the playoffs. And Bren, if they lose here, they're out, and they were the second best team in Group B, right? I think, yeah, and both of the top two teams not making it, unthinkable.
A lot of new talent has come into Clash Royale League Asia. Things have kind of switched up, and other teams that have stood pat have played really well this season where we haven't always seen them, like Bob Gaming, for example. They stuck with the same roster. They played way better.
Yeah, like OG and Entis as well.
Yep. They worked really hard in the offseason, prepped really well. Their coaches, a lot of credit's got to go to them for getting these teams ready for these seasons because they've played incredible. And now Icelaw is going to go one more try to secure this win for Sandbox. Or can Jai turn it around, get 2 wins for himself, and send this to a King of the Hill? We will find out. Big game here.
All right. This may just be the decider if Icelaw wins.
Ooh. Really curious to see. All right, Battle Ram. That is signaling that this is most likely that P.E.K.K.A. Battle Ram stuff.
Cannon.
The cannon. Are we gonna get the cycle? The quick.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I think we are.
Oh my god.
I think we are.
We have yet to see this that I remember in Clash Royale League Asia.
I don't think this is the first cannon we've seen.
Oh no, okay, so
Wait,
it's not
okay.
like the really like 2.4 cycle.
Yeah.
But with this is really fascinating.
It's still possible.
Valkyrie. What else is going to be here for Ice Law? Really interesting. Don't see the cannon a whole lot.
Okay. Skeletons do get a little scratch. The Wish gets 1 pop.
Cannon's great against Royal Giant, by the way. If you do it right, the Royal Giant won't get any shots onto the Princess Tower. It's going to be wall breakers from Ice Law. Gonna have to use that. Oh, just in time. Good snowball. Good minions. Jai defending well so far. Might not be the P.E.K.K.A here. Hard to say, but it could be. I think it is.
Yeah.
I'd put my money on it.
Oh.
It's not.
Yeah. You put your money. Give me your money.
All right, here's your money. No, can't have my money.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, we do have the Muskie in the back. But once again, you can see Ice Law building up the damage, right? Like, the early game, the Miner Poison Wall Breaker combo, it's definitely going to do the chip damage. And you have to do a lot of that, a lot of the chip damage early on, because when it gets to the double elixir, your opponent is going to start just spamming, especially Jai with some of the bridge spams that he has, is going to be able to come back from this.
Cannon's really nice to have in defense for all of this. That Brawler does get 1 punch on it. And now we get a Bandit who's going to be very busy with skeletons and end up getting blown up. Good Miner placement again in the back. Gets a couple big hits. There's a Musketeer to help deal with this Witch. But you got to use the Bandit because the new Witch does beat that Musketeer a lot one-on-one with those skeletons out there to buy it time.
Oh, the cannon is just doing so much work. It's just pulling all these units, and here we go once again, the Miner.
Oh, you got to use the snowball there to stop it, but that gives a lot of time for that Miner on the bottom left to continue to do its work. Relentless!
Again. Oh my goodness. Again, I'm telling you, this chip damage, if you can't predict the Miner's positioning, it's gonna add up.
This is looking really, really nice for Ice Law. What can Jai find to get through here? Maybe try a battle ram. Oh, he's going to try to build up a battle ram push. I thought he might try to spam it on the bridge, but that cannon is there, so he's a little skeptical of it. He's using a poison on the bridge here to keep all this away. And again,
the mind games with the Miner placements.
He's just outguessing him. It's really nice stuff here from Ice Law. He's going to cycle into a poison knowing that he can defend this push really well. And I think Jai knows that this one is potentially in the bag. One more poison is all it's going to take. And then this will be GG.
All right. Well, at the end, it was a little bit too late to predict that Miner, but that poison will give Ice Law the victory, and they're going to actually go up.
And it is going to be Sandbox Gaming. They are going to be your 4th place team in Group B, qualifying for the playoffs. They'll be meeting Kicks on the very first match on Saturday, October 19th. You guys do not want to miss that. That is going to be a really fun day, some really good games. Can't wait to see these guys square off against each other. And really well done there by Ice Law. Bren, they tried really hard. It was the 2v2 set was really, really good. And Jai gave it his all at the end of the season here. Really tried to get things turned around for Bren, but in the end, it's Sandbox who's able to overcome.
Wow. I said this, but GameWith and Bren not making it from Group B is just huge. Like in Group A, yeah, Chaos Theory had a little bit of trouble. Ponos did have a little bit of trouble in the early season, but they ended up making it. They ended up coming back. They climbed up, and they stayed in the middle of the pack at least, and then they got 3rd and 4th. Group B GameWith us. Oh my goodness, this is a big shocker for me personally.
Yeah, definitely a shocker. 100%, especially GameWith. That one shocks me a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because that team last season looked like they might just win it all, but Ponos came in and spoiled it at the end there in the finals. And so there you go, OPGG takes GameWith down. Fob gonna be your #1 seed out of Group B over OG and Entis. And there you go. That is all she wrote for the regular season.
Wow.
And it's going to be really, really fun these next couple days, Saturday and Sunday. So the way the format's going to work, so you guys know, we play one group versus another group, Group A versus B. So in this case, to start out with, it's going to be Kicks versus Sandbox. Okay? Then they play. Then you've got a second match. It's going to be Ponos versus OGN. Oh, well, here you go.
Yeah, here's the bracket.
Then the winner of both of those matches will face off at the end of the day in the third round. But there is a loser's bracket here.
Yeah, it is double elimination once again for the playoffs. So we're going to get 4 days of playoffs.
This is our first time doing double elimination.
Yeah. It is. And I think I like this format because it gives all the teams more chances.
Yes.
Yeah, it gives them a chance. It's not just one game, and if you lose, even though we make it long, if you lose that one day, you're done. Like, you get another day, you get another chance to come back up, and this is the format. It looks a little bit confusing, but when we actually go live with this, it's going to be very straightforward.
Yeah, so the way it's going to work the first 2 days next week, you can see it right here. You have Kicks versus Sandbox, Ponos versus OG and Entis, and then the winners will face each other. We're doing the exact same thing on Sunday with the other teams that aren't here. So it'll be Fob versus Chaos, then OPGG versus Dragon X. That's going to be one heck of a match. Korea versus Korea there. That's going to be a lot of pride on the line in that one. And I know I talked to Expo Master outside, and he said he really wants to beat Line.
Oh, okay. The new upcoming. He wants to just cut him off.
Said he wants to beat Line, so fight.
Yeah, fight.
A little bit of rivalry going on there for sure. And there you can see it right there.
Okay. They're going to just show the Sunday matchup as well. So there is no Thursday broadcast from now on. We only have Saturday, Sunday, and next week also Saturday, Sunday. And it's going to be crazy. Just because it's double elimination. We're going to see some teams drop down to the loser's bracket and just come back up.
Yeah, so basically, right. Saturday, Sunday next week. Then we do the losers matches and then a winner match. The Saturday after that, same thing on the Sunday after that. So that's the 26th, 27th of October. Then your finals are on November
2nd.
3rd. 2nd? 3rd. Maybe this day is wrong on the paper. That's Saturday. The first Saturday of November.
Oh, it is 3rd then.
Yeah, the first Saturday of November. And we've got an all-star match at the beginning of that day, which I think is really cool. That should be a lot of fun. And then your finals, best of 5 there. Once we get down to the later stages, it's best of 5s instead of best of 3s once we're into those winter finals and those kind of things. So give teams even more time to really kind of play against each other and figure things out, which I think is necessary. You need that. Teams want that. They want to kind of prove that, they're as a team, they have the quality available.
Yeah, and now that we don't have a Thursday, we have all these teams the time 5 days straight for them to prep, rather than, if you played on Sunday, you only have 3 days until Thursday, right? You have a very short term. But this time, because it's the playoffs, you have a little bit longer time. Well, these teams have a little bit longer time. I want to see some wall breaker decks and some Night Witch decks kind of solidify with the meta deck. And, I want to see these teams that are in the playoffs kind of utilize a new style deck to surprise their opponents instead of just using the same old decks.
Yeah, it gets a little weird when you get a new patch that really significantly changes which cards are viable. In this case, the Wall Breakers and the Witch are the two that really kind of come in. And then you start seeing a little bit of chaos until things kind of solidify. That's going to do it for us, guys. The regular season is through. The playoffs are coming up. Make sure you stay tuned. They are going to be really good. Next Saturday and Sunday, same place, same time. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.